All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Yeah, it's great living here in Florida. Everything's going. No, wait a second. Where am I? Oh, it's just hot and humid like Florida here. What is happening with the weather?
Yeah, it's nasty, man. Here it's not as bad as it was last week, but lots of rain and humidity's in the 75, but it's been pretty bad. Yeah, Florida like feel in the Northeast. So
again, I keep saying if I wanted to live in Florida, I would live in Florida. But man, it is at least there's no gators.
Yeah, yep, 100%. Friends, welcome to the show. Hopefully you're having a great morning. Man, what a day today. I mean, so much we're going to get into, friends. But let's start with the U.S. CPI data. Just came out 2 minutes ago. Let's go there first, then we'll look at our gappers list. We'll look at everything happening today.
Yeah, so like you said, CPI data coming out. I'm just filling it in here and trying to get the numbers right. It looked roughly on target. We have the core and the non-core CPI, and basically 0.2% versus 0.3 on the base on the core, exactly at 0.3, and then year over year, I actually updated that. The reported number was 2.7 versus the 2.6 forecast. So basically, consumer prices are exactly where the analysts had anticipated. So you shouldn't really expect any market movement. That being said, there was a couple other things that I didn't bother to list here. We had, for example, the New York State Empire State Manufacturing Index. That came out significantly more positive than expected. It was expected to see a contraction, and it actually showed a little bit of growth. So I guess that's good for manufacturing in New York. Later today, we just have a whole bunch of Fed speakers that are out there. Bowman, Barr, Collins, Logan, all speaking at different times, but none of them really are expected to have any material impact on the market. So, Carlos, it's been yesterday was not, for me, was not a good trading day. There was just no opportunities. Very boring. Again. Now, that being said, there's one or two things that moved off the open, but if you weren't in right away, then you weren't getting them. And a couple things did hit all-time highs, so it's not like there was no opportunities, but it was tough for me. So let's see what we get today. Let's hope. I'm hoping for better trading. I want trading to just pick up a little bit, a little more volatility. We need some craziness out there.
Yeah, we sure do, and we actually we might get it today, friends. So much going on as earnings kick in. We'll get into all of that. Here's our gappers list today, and as the market's hitting SPY, especially hitting all-time highs here. So again, a lot happening today. Hopefully that can translate to some good trading, as Peter mentioned. All right, let's dive into some of these. We'll look at the top three because there's a lot of stories we got to cover today, so I don't want to waste too much time on some of these, like MP, that might not trail that well. They're on our gappers list today, but we'll look at the top 3 or 4 or so, and then we'll head to some of the big stories on Nvidia, semiconductors, JPMorgan, some of the bank's earnings. That stuff is going to be front and center today. All right, let's rock here. Let's go straight to the first one, which just made its way to the list. LRHC. Wow, we got some action here. We are up 32%, 473,000 shares traded. This has been a stock that has popped up in the past before. Peter, what's the latest and greatest?
La Rosa, this is a realty. It's not exactly a trust, but it's a realty LLC. The news this morning, they basically are getting into a new deal with the IBS Romana Bayahibe project. I'm sure I said that completely wrong, but it's basically it's a Dominican Republic development project, and then they. Oh no! Wait a second here. So usually with the agency, Dominican Republic participating. Okay, so it's the agency is based in the Dominican Republic, but it's actually securing rights for sales in Puerto Rico. So, good news for them. You can see it popped up, and now it's like sort of right back.
Yeah,
That didn't last very long. Yeah.
that was short
Well,
lived.
I really don't like it.
Yeah, careful with this. Love my country there, but yeah, where I was born, but no, I don't think so. I'm not jumping on this madness that we see here. All right, let's take a look at what else we have on our gappers list, friends. So again, careful with that one. KC is the next one on here. KC, we are King's Soft Cloud. I'm not seeing a whole lot happening today besides the gap up. Let me just reset this again. Yeah, 570,000 shares traded. So my screens are right. Pre-market doesn't look all that exciting as far as volume and movement. The daily's got a big pop. Now these guys, if you notice in the daily down here, they are very light on volume, under 3.5 million, all going all the way back to June. So I don't like that, Peter. We've seen this stock before. Remember the name. I don't think it's one I'm going to be watching closely. Your thoughts?
No, every once in a while this thing will pop up, and we never really understand why. It's a software services company or a cloud company, I guess, out of China. I don't. I'm not sure why it's moving. Blah blah blah. Something about chip sales to China. Looks like. Let's see. So there's certain GPU configurations that have been. Allowed, I guess, to be sold in China, and KC is a reseller of some of those, so that is good news for them.
Yeah, so they're also probably riding on that wave. They see the Nvidia big news also going to affect a lot of these tech companies. You see AMD, AMU. I mean, this is good news for all the semiconductors. So, all right, so they're probably riding on that news, but this won't be the one to trade today. Nvidia and some other ones are going to be much better, so I'm going to hold off on this one. We'll look at something else. Let's take a look at VNet this morning. It's also on deck today. VNet Group, nice daily here for the most part. But also another one that's very light on volume, under 10 million for the most part on most days. I don't see anything great on here. Flow is large, by the way, 253 million shares float. But again, I don't see this being one on the list today, given what we have going on with some of the other bigger names.
Yeah, and there seems to be a group of companies. We've got the King's Cloud that we just looked at. There's this VNet group. There's a company called GDS. They all seem to be benefiting from the same news that these chip sales have been allowed once again, which allows them to unlock some of their pipeline. Like I mentioned, KC's a reseller of some of the chips and the software that rides on top of them. VNet had a number of deployments that they had to put on hold that they're allowed to resume now as a result of this. So yeah, we've got a couple of these that are all on our gappers list.
Got it. That makes sense. So let's do this. Let's go right to the elephant in the room, which is driving the entire market. Let's go right to it, because a lot of these are going to be these be like Big Bear AI. I could see all these quantum and all these tech companies riding off the wave of the king of the market here, Nvidia, right? So Nvidia, obviously, Peter, with the big news, able to sell chips to China. Man, how big is this for this company as we crush through that all-time high again?
Yeah, yesterday was a good day for an Nvidia as it was moving higher, and then of course overnight we saw this big gap up, and here we are at 170. We're at like 170, 150 right now. Solidly over the $4 trillion market cap. And yes, Nvidia, of course, is going to be on the front line as they are allowed to resume sales to China after the U.S. ban is sort of, it's not totally listed, but they've been told basically that some of their chipsets will be allowed for sale again under sort of management, oversight, controls, whatever you want to say. Some of this, by the way, is just rumor, right? Because they said that Nvidia made a statement that they were refiling some applications to the U.S. government on the assurance that their licenses will be granted to sell or to make deliveries, right, of their chips. So that's, look, with this administration, you never know. It's great that they've got that confidence that they were willing to go. I was going to say go on the record, but it's not really an official on the record, right? I feel like they're managing the rumor mill to make sure that people understand that that they're intended to be allowed to, which makes it harder for the government, of course, then to pull back and say no. But we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe today we will get some government tweets that'll either support it, which will push things higher, or say, we're not allowing this. That is wrong information, and we may see a faltering in the AI stocks and the chip stocks. So, Carlos, one way or the other, we could have a news-related day. It, of course, depends on whether anything gets released or not.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what gets released. And again, the market's taking it overall as positive. At least it's not a no, right? It's like, hey, it's not a no, it's a maybe. The companies that we want to do business with have to still be approved through government. And there's a list of companies that they cannot do deals with, obviously. But it's not a blanket no now. It's more like it's open to negotiations and interpretation here. So we'll see what takes place. But again, Nvidia benefiting from all of this. And if you look at our gap list, we went through two already that are somewhat in that chip cloud-based system that obviously are going to benefit from this news. You see AMD on here as well. I thought I saw MU earlier, maybe not, but you see Nvidia, AMD, and some other ones benefiting. CoreWeave got its own news as well, so they're benefiting from some of that also. But again, just a lot of tech heavy names this morning on the list. Peter, let's go to so of course, before I do that, let's add Nvidia to our list. NVDA, there we go. Nvidia, whatever you want to call it. It's the king of the market that's on there, right? Whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to add actually AMD on the secondary list because today we might see something out of that as well. So there it is. All right, friend, let's take a look at MP this morning, also on the list, Peter. They actually got news today. I know you don't want to look at them, but they actually have news. They actually have something going on that is driving them higher, up 10%, 3.3 million shares traded. So as good hosts that we are, we're going to talk about this nightmare stock for me and Peter. We're still going to talk about it and give you the news. Try to be positive, I guess.
Yeah. Well, look, there's nothing wrong with MP as a company. It's all fine. So remember, the news last week was the fact that they were joining in this public-private partnership with the Department of Defense to mine rare earth metals, because there's a lot of them that are needed in the production of defense products. And MP is poised to help them out with that and make sure that they secure a supply, since the majority of these rare earth metals come out of China. This morning, they've got another partner. So Department of Defense, that's pretty big. That's important. But another big partner is Apple. And Apple said that they're going to invest $500 billion, $500 million in MP to help secure some of the raw materials that they need in the production of iPhones and their other technology equipment. So it's good news all around for MP. They seem to be the one that's in the catbird seat, so to speak. They're in the right position here. They're attracting all sorts of investment. Now, let's hope that they are, sort of near term in their ability to extract these metals from their existing mines, because if they're not, then this could be a very long-term investment that may not yield dividends for decades, right? If they have to build out new facilities, new mine sites. It's interesting, in all the stuff that I'm reading, there really aren't. They haven't been saying exactly what the expected return is on all these investments. Like, how soon will their production numbers actually increase? Now, if I was MP, I wouldn't want to release that either if I don't have to. But it means that, what does it mean for short-term investing like we're doing as is day trading? I mean, they do have an existing Texas facility that they're able to produce a number of there's like 17 different of these metals, by the way, right? That they want to capitalize upon. It's a little vague as to exactly how this is all going to work, but they are apparently looking to use the money to build another factory, which would produce magnets and some of the other devices that are needed. That I'm pointing out the time frame, because if they say they're building another factory, like, how long does it take to build a factory? A few years at minimum, right? So all these investments are not going to yield dividends right away. So, it'll be interesting to see what the stock does. It's good news in the short term, but it's going to take a while for it to bear fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. MP definitely in play. If you did well when this thing gapped up a few days ago, you might want to have it on your list. Obviously, me and Peter did not do well with this ticker, so we probably won't have it on our list going into today's trading. So your choice on that one. But obviously, it is in play with some more news making it gap even higher today. All right, let's take a look here, friends. The next one on the deck is going to be the Trade Desk TTD, and then once we do that, we'll hop around a little bit, cover some of the bigger names at the bottom. The Trade Desk is a well-known ticker here. We've seen it plenty of times. Maybe earnings, because the only time we get to see this stock in play, but it just doesn't trade well, man. Enter the action on this. The volume is so low that it doesn't provide good trading activity. Today they're up 12%, 1.4 million shares traded. All that could be out the window. This thing can actually trade very well today. If it's one day, 4 days out of the year will be in earnings if today's earnings, but for the most part, it won't be on my list, Peter. What's going on to them? They got a big pop this morning. Peter.
I'm on mute.
There you go.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
My bad.
Yep.
It was announced this morning that they're going to be replacing a company called Ensys on the S&P 500. So TTD is getting added to the S&P 500 as one of the 500 track companies that lead to that index and how it moves. And they always jump when that happens, right? Because a number of companies need to add it to their tracking funds and their index funds and their ETFs. So there's going to be a little bit of short-term benefit to TTD. We've seen normally that it still doesn't give us good trading, right? It usually jumps pre-market and then sort of flattens out. So it's a possibility. Like, it's good news for them as a company, provides legitimacy to what they do and gets them more coverage. But I don't know if it's going to yield trading opportunities.
All right, there you go. I don't know, but if you do like this ticker, depending on your strategy, could be one you put on your list. But it's just I'm not hopeful it's going to trade very well.
I should add, I didn't say they'll be added on Friday. Friday is the day when they actually get added to the S&P 500. So.
Oh, nice, good news for them here. Let's head over to what else? I'm gonna hop around a little bit. I want to cover some of these names, Peter, and I know you have a lot of news pie today to cover as well, so I want to leave time for that. But I want to let's talk about Bob and some of these Chinese tickers that are on the list this morning, right? Obviously, this whole Nvidia deal is just more than chips. It kind of opens the conversation that the U.S. is kind of being a little more lenient to making trades with China. Peter, so that can open up, maybe better ease on the trade talks, right? This is definitely a strategic move. Nothing happens here without some back-end plan. And this seems to be the one that might open that door. What's your thoughts on it? And we've seen Bob and some other ones gapping up today.
Well, and that's exactly it, right? This is a lot of speculation that if the U.S. government, through the Trump administration, is going to be allowing the chip sales a little bit more freely, they might be softening their stance on China overall, and maybe we're getting to a conclusion in the short term, anyways, on the tariffs that have been hanging over the markets ever since his administration started. So, but again, it's speculation, right? I haven't seen anything out of the White House that actually confirms that they're softening that position and are going to, sort of allow the chips to move, allow products to come in without tariffs or with the low tariff levels that they'd had previously. We've got to wait and see. So, this type of speculation is what in the past has often caused President Trump and his team to react. And I said they've been not very reactive in the last little bit, which, again, probably a good thing for market stability, not a great thing for trading, though. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it could be, if ever there was going to be a reaction. It feels like today is well poised, for that type of strongly worded or maybe ambiguously worded reaction, but some type of reaction out of the White House. Again, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I'm definitely going to be on high alert for something to come out today.
Yeah, for sure. I think something will come out today. It's just so much going on. I think they'll definitely want to jump on some of this news headlines. All right, I do like Baba. I am going to put them. They have 2.5 million shares traded. They're up 6%. I will add them to my secondary list. Again, they have not traded well in the recent months here, so they have not been on my list as far as intraday trading. But today, I think, will be the day. If there's any day, today is it, man. This is a nice pop. We're either going to hopefully confirm this news and continue higher, or maybe an overreaction. We get some kind of sell-off. Either one will be nice for us to take advantage of here. So BABA on the list as well. If you like buy, there's another one that's gapping up this morning. And I see other Chinese tickers. Got JD on here as well. So either one of those can be a good one for today. All right, Peter, I want to stop here so much on this gap up list here. Let's go to you. What do you like this morning? What news you have? What earnings do you want to go over today?
Well, I mean, all of the earnings this morning. So we are starting with earnings, and we have a lot of the banks out. So look, the story, the headline story is the same on all the banks. JPMorgan, Citibank, Wells Fargo, BlackRock. What is this? What's BK? I've got it on my list here. Bank of New York, Mellon Corporation. Look, the story's the same. They beat their numbers. They beat on revenue. They beat on earnings. They all made lots of money, more money than they even anticipated. However, they're not all gapping up. JPMorgan, for example, is gapping down. Citibank is gapping up. Wells Fargo is gapping down. So, interestingly, that they're reacting differently. Then this is now. Let me speculate totally, but the person who's often referred to as the most influential banker in the U.S. is Jamie Dimon, who's the CEO of JPMorgan Chase, and he made an interesting statement yesterday that said. And let me read it to you so I get it right. He says that while the country's economy remained resilient over the second quarter, the finalization of tax reform and potential deregulation are positive for the economic outlook. However, significant risks persist, including from tariffs and trade uncertainty, worsening geopolitical conditions, high fiscal deficits, and elevated asset prices. So that is the type of language I expect from a Fed chair. But I mean, obviously, as a banker, he's in that same world. You think he's positioning? We know that somebody's job is at risk. I wonder if he wants the job.
It's a good question, man. I mean, I got my JP Morgan blue shirt on today because I looked at their earnings this morning. Peter, they crush everything. 20% up on equities. I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. So I think he's looking at the entire global sector, not just his own company here. But JP Morgan is just unstoppable, man. This is unreal. It's like hand over fist when it comes to money here. So maybe he's going for it. Who knows?
I'm not sure why. It seems like not a great play. I mean, I've got to imagine the pay packet is much more attractive at JP Morgan than it ever would be as the Fed chair. But maybe at a certain point he's got enough money and he wants to do some social work. I don't know. Total speculation there. But you're right, Carlos. JP Morgan crushed it. But they're not alone. I mean, Citigroup, right, crushed their revenue. Same type of picture. Wells Fargo, same thing. Crushed the revenue. And of course earned a lot more per share than ever they would expect. So I don't know. I mean, there's the banks as always, right? They just doesn't seem to matter what's going on. At worst, they deliver to their numbers, and then in the good times like this, they'll just quietly suck money out of the market as they always do. So
yeah. Well, I'm sure he's probably going to bring too much attention on how much money they're making, although we all know because the numbers are printed. But he doesn't want to probably bring attention to JP Morgan. Anything else, Peter, from today?
Well, I mean, obviously the banks are the big focus. The only other one that had earnings this morning was Ericsson, Eric, E-R-I-C. It doesn't typically trade a lot of volume, and it is dual traded. Ericsson is one of those just enigmatic companies from a North American point of view, because as a Swedish company, they're traded on multiple exchanges, and they've been suffering because the U.S. is a big market for them, and they have cited tariffs as a reason why their numbers were down. So they actually did not beat their numbers on their quarterly earnings. They missed on revenue, which they say is directly because a lot of their revenue had to go to tariffs, 4% worth. And but that being said, they actually did good on the bottom line, so they managed to maintain their margins. But yeah, not a good trader. But that's it, Carlos. I mean, look, there's all the usuals out there. If you want stuff that's gapping up, you could look at any of the Magnificent Seven except Microsoft for whatever reason. But Tesla was a good trader yesterday. Closed sort of on a high note as it was moving higher. It didn't have a great day, but it did sort of move up in the last 2 hours into the close. And is gapping higher a little bit this morning, so I think it'll be in play again today. And Apple's also, gapping a little higher. It didn't have a great trading day yesterday, but you never know what it's going to do. So, and then of course all of the semis. We talked about Nvidia, but you can't forget the rest of them. We often put an eye to, right? AMD at the top of my list, but we've got Micron, SMCI, Broadcom even. Right, I mean, all the rumored news, because it is just rumors, would be good for the entire sector.
Yeah, 100%. Man, when you brought up Ericsson, it made me think.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Raf is giving us numbers here. So, Jamie Dimon's salary as the CEO of JPMorgan, $39 million a year, probably plus bonuses. As the Fed chair, his salary would be $250,000. So, you'd only have to take a slight pay cut. You'd only have to, take a 97% pay cut or whatever that comes out to.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I was looking at Ericsson phones, man. This is throwback. If you're born in the last 15, 20 years, you won't know what this is. But look at this, man. This is what we were born with, Peter, back in the days. This was very popular phones, man. So good times. Ericsson, what's the other one too? Nokia was one we had a lot of.
Motorola was the other old one.
Oh, I had a Motorola. StarTech. I forgot. StarTech Razor. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they were the
flip one.
They started as the cheap knockoff one, but StarTech. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, let's get to it. So that covers our gap up, friends. Again, a lot on here. We do have plenty, like SMCI we didn't look at. We'll look at maybe those later. But there's a bunch on there that you can look at. Let's see what's gapping down today. Leading the way, SONN. Now, this thing was up yesterday big. I mean, we saw it come up on our scanners. Huge pop here. Low flow stock sitting at 3 million shares traded today. On the way down, the party seems to be jumping out the window here. So 537,000 shares traded, down 15%. Again, nothing for me to really look at here. This is not my typical trading stock. I really do not focus on these low flow names here. Peter, anything to add on this one?
No, there's nothing new on it. And after the open yesterday, all the fun was pre-market yesterday. After the open, it really just sort of moved down. And I think it halted like 4 times in the morning alone. And then I stopped watching it. So it's, not fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it halted 4 times in the first 30 minutes of trading. So moving on.
Yeah, move on from here. Another one here, NUWE. So NUWE Nuelis. This looks horrible. There's nothing to see here. I mean, they're hard to borrow. Low flow stock at 5.6. I don't see anything as far as exciting in the daily or the pre-market. Yeah, not to see here, Peter. I'm not sure if you want to add anything.
I don't even have any news on it, so I'm not sure why.
We'll leave that alone. Well, look how fast this thing went from the top of the gappers list, the gap up list, that is, La Rosa Holdings, to now gapping down 3.6, right? Hit 1250. It's like, what's going on here? So, this looks shady, man. Gaps up, sells off, gaps up, sells off, and it looks like I highly doubt they were at 200 and something here. There's probably a couple of splits that they did there. Not good. Peter Ray gave you the news on that one, so we'll skip it. Let's look at WFC. It's the only bank, well, one of the banks that's actually not doing well as far as the charts, right? JPMorgan and everything else are doing okay. And I'm surprised, speaking of JPMorgan, that they're not up higher. All right, we'll see how the news goes this morning after the market open, when the heavy volume comes in and people had a chance to digest the numbers. But I'm surprised it's not gapping up higher, because I'm telling you, if you look at the earnings, they crush on everything. And their outlook, they restored the full outlook for the year, right? So they're like, the tariffs are not that bad. The trade, there's nothing going on here. We'll bring everything back. So it's all sunny up here, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, overall, they again crushed their numbers like all the banks. There's one area that people pointed to, their NII, their so-called net interest income, which came in at only 11.71 billion versus the 11.83 billion dollar estimate. So we can cry for the bank. They didn't make as many billions in interest off of all of us as they were hoping. I mean, I think it's probably just that combined with the fact that there is suggestion, increasing sentiment that maybe the Fed will be reducing interest rates. That we'll see. I mean, there's been pressure for a long time on, of course, Powell and the Fed to cut rates. But Powell's been resisting. That being said, one of the top contenders, a guy named Kevin Warsh, whose name we might get to know if he does end up getting the job, says that he's in favor of cutting rates. So that's certainly something that the President Trump and his administration want to hear. And it's the type of thing you need to say, I guess, if you're looking to take the job. I can't remember, when is Powell's mandate up? It's sometime this year, right? It's like in the
Yeah, it's coming up.
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people are positioning themselves for the job, and everybody knows how to do it. You tell President Trump what he wants to hear, and you've got a better chance, of course, of getting the job. So Kevin Warsh seems like he's playing the game. He's going on public speaking tours and saying how rates need to be cut. He wants an overhaul of the institution. He wants to reimagine everything about how the Fed thinks about inflation, and believes the organization has lost its way. That type of talk has traditionally been music to the ears of President Trump.
Yeah.
So see what happens.
So here it is. Actually, it's actually next year, May 15, 2016.
Okay.
That's when his term is
That's
up.
longer than I
Thought it
thought.
was.
Okay.
I thought I heard some days are sooner, but I know he stays on the board as governor into 2028. But I think they might be hiring somebody, this year to start getting ready. I mean, I figure you got to prepare. You're not just going to walk in and say, "Here, take over." And there's got to be some transition or something. I'm not sure what that is,
I don't
right?
know.
So, but yeah, you still got some time. Still got a long way to go. All right, let's see what's going on here, friends. On the gap down, that kind of covers everything. Riot is on here as well. If we take a look at Riot right now, it's moving 2.5 down this morning. 823,000 shares traded. I don't see anything great on it. Bitcoin kind of pulled back a bit. I saw that this morning. So again, not seeing anything great here. I don't think it's really in play today, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, crypto's pulled back, or Bitcoin has pulled back, but not by much. It's still sort of at this high level. It's a 117 right now, which is a little bit off the high that it hit at 122.5, which it hit in the early hours yesterday. Look, it's still way up here. It's up in this territory that I said I think is where it's gonna likely to pull it higher and higher. So we'll see. Riot, no real news on Riot that I can see specifically, Carlos. I think it's like you said, as these things sort of drop off the peaks, we're going to see a little bit of a pullback on the stocks that are directly related. Mara, Riot, we'll see MSTR, those Clear Spark, CLSK, all of those, right, are going to be very sensitive to Bitcoin pricing. We were watching yesterday Coin. Its little Coin and Hood had some not easy trading, but they had some movement. They are tied, but not as directly tied to Bitcoin prices as they're more about action in the crypto and other markets. So both had again some interesting moves yesterday. I could not find a trade in them because it was just way too choppy for me, but they were definitely like moving.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like both of these, especially what they've done in the daily, but we'll have to see how they play out when the heavy volume comes in. But like you said, pretty quiet right now as far as movement, slightly down, slightly up, nothing really amazing at the moment. So wait for the market open on those two. All right, friends, let's go over to our chat and see what you guys like this morning. Starting here in the members tab, let me bring the chat a little over so I can see better what you guys like today. Actually, Peter, did I go to you on gapping down first? Anything gapping down you want to cover?
We didn't specifically. I mean, some of the banks that are gapping down, we already talked about them. And I like how, yeah, as Harvey says in the chat room, gonna watch the banks, but the semis are stealing the show. Yeah, banks are sort of like it's like being the opening act for Taylor Swift, right? Like the banks are they're there, but we all know who we're here to see. So don't kid yourself. So. Anyways, other than that, Microsoft is interestingly gapping down, but on very low volume this morning, only 130,000 shares traded. And Microsoft has been very stagnant over the last couple of days. Yesterday was a horrible day of trading for Microsoft. And I'm looking at the daily chart. It's been sideways for a few days. So not a lot going on there. And yeah, I don't have anything else. Like we already talked about the sectors that are of interest. So got nothing further. How about PLTR?
Oh
We
yeah.
didn't talk. We didn't mention that. It's gapping down. Had a good day yesterday. So bouncy on its way up, but yeah, not much happening news-wise from PLTR. Everybody's still speculating it's going to be a $1 trillion company at some point in the future. That being said, its price has to triple for it to, so it's got to be a, $450 stock for it to become a $1 trillion company. I'm not saying that it can't get there, but it's got a ways to go. So.
Yeah, definitely it's got some ways to go there. I agree, man. Semis are sticking the show, and you can see here by my Nvidia leather jacket and my JPMorgan blue shirt. That is what's on deck this morning. So let's see if the Nvidia leather jacket brings me luck this morning. We'll see how the trading goes. All right, let's go to you guys. Let's see what's happening here in our chat. Who started CoreWeave? Yes, CoreWeave has news too. They actually have some kind of a deal they're getting together there, Peter. CRWV. Yes, let's see what's going on with this one. So they're up 8%, 1.1 million shares traded. Again, I forget, I heard the news on Bloomberg radio this morning, but I didn't, again, running around putting the kids to school, to summer camp, didn't really register. But they got something going on. What's the latest and greatest?
Huh? Wait a second. Is this current news? What am I
Yeah, this
looking
is
at?
today. Yeah, this is CoreWeave
I
has
did,
some like deal,
yeah,
some kind
well,
of deal. Yeah.
apparently they're investing about $6 billion to build an AI data center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So, uh, they previously announced that they were planning to build a data center. I don't think they provided details about how much or where it would be. So the fact that they've now come out with some specific numbers, 6 billion. So this is obviously going to be a pretty massive data center. I mean, years in the development. The reason why I was confused in reading this article right now, it says, let me read it to you guys. During Sorry, the announcement came during a CEO roundtable with former President Donald J. Trump at Senator David McCormick's inaugural Pennsylvania Energy and Innovation Summit. And that language was confusing me because I can't argue he is former President Donald J. Trump, but he's also current President Donald Trump.
Sounds like it
I,
was written by AI, and they're not paying the
yeah,
the current version. Come on, guys, upgrade so you can get the latest and
yeah, I'm
greatest.
like,
What's going on
I,
here?
I had to read it
What
like three
newspaper is
times. I'm
this?
like, is this a different person? What's going on? And
That's an
it
AI
seems
article,
unusual that
100%. Yeah.
President Trump would be at a CEO roundtable. That's not the type of thing that sitting U.S. president normally attends. So anyways, the article's sketchy, but assuming the news is correct, they're investing 6 billion in an AI data center build out in Lancaster.
Yeah, I done it before, by the way, with ChatGPT. I'll ask it like, "Hey, what's the latest news on for Nvidia, for example? Why they're gapping up today?" I do that in the morning when I hear something, and it's "Oh, Nvidia gapping up because last week they did something else." Okay, that's good, but today they're gapping up because I think they got a deal on something. And then, oh yeah, you're right. This morning they had a deal with Meta, blah blah. I'm like, it sometimes doesn't give you the latest information. This sounds like that was it, and somebody forgot to check the work. Interesting stuff. All right.
It, it's amazing how they talk about like how big this is going to be, and so $6 billion of investment sounds awesome.
Yep.
The data center is going to initially use 100 megawatts of power with potential to expand to 300 megawatts. So the data center was going to need power, which drives further the need for infrastructure. But then you get into the details here. And by the way, it does seem like Trump was at this CEO roundtable because he was expected to announce about $60 billion worth of investment and did not, sorry, $70 billion worth of AI and energy investments. But I don't think that announcement actually came. But CoreWeave did announce their investment. But what was interesting, Carlos, when you look at it, the project is expected to create about 600 jobs during construction, with about 70 full-time technical and operational positions at launch, which means it could get lower afterwards. So the reality is, in terms of other than the construction, which will create a few hundred jobs, there's only 70 jobs in this entire $6 billion data center investment. So, it's one of these, sometimes when you get to the numbers, it's never as big as you expect. Like we're talking under 100 jobs total. That's
Yeah, because I mean, think about a data center. Who do you need? Someone to clean the
They're
floors,
largely autonomous,
and a couple of tech companies to make sure, tech guys to make sure the lights are turning on. I mean, it runs itself, And then once they get the Optimus in there, you just the guy working 24 hours after 2 hours charge. He'll be working 22 hours, mopping the floors, turning on the lights, checking the servers. Who do you need?
Yeah.
The world is ending, man. If you're in the workforce. I don't know what my kids are going to do, but they better figure something out quickly. They're in trouble.
We have to keep in mind there are, having large data center and infrastructure, like even IT infrastructure projects, there are secondary and tertiary effects, right? You get consulting companies, you get other jobs and contracts that get created that don't get counted as jobs because, CoreWeave is not necessarily going to hire the people. They're going to contract. Like you could be Amazon as a big customer in their data center, right? And they're not going to put any staff on there, but hosting the Amazon servers means that there's more people that are going to be using them and supporting them. So, look, there are sort of knock-on type jobs. We can't forget that, but it's just it's interesting, anyways.
Yeah, a good business, like if you don't want to, like trading, of course, but if you don't want to trade, a good business could be AC business, man, cooling.
There you go.
Because that's going to be good for the data centers. They're going to break down, and if you're in the AC business, this could be good in the next 10, 15 years. So if you're thinking of a business, there's one. HVAC, absolutely, man. HVAC is going to be awesome. All right, that's it. Peter, anything else? Let's jump to the chat and see what you guys like this morning. We'll look at a few here. Looking at our members tab, Sage. We looked at TTD. We don't like that one, man. It's a great company as far as trade desk and all that. But as far as intraday trading, I haven't had no luck, to be honest, on that one. So I'm going to skip it. Sage this morning, 154% longevity health, hard to borrow. So the flow is probably small on this one. I don't have it handy. But yeah, I don't like it here, Peter. Any news on it driving it?
Float. Oh yeah, the float is under 1 million shares. So
yeah.
And it's a merger news. So it looks like they're merging with TH Plasma. So that's not usually good trading news. Yeah,
that's not gonna work here. So we'll leave that one alone, friends. And let's see what else. Hims, yeah, saw Hims on both chats here. So Hims this morning, take a look here. Hims is up 2%, 754,000 shares traded. Now we have traded Hims pretty well in the past. I do like the daily here. I do like the pre-market. So I will add them to our list. We actually have some really nice trading on Hims. I'm gonna add it to the secondary, but we'll definitely bring it up if we need to. So there's Hims this morning.
I went and played tennis this morning, and I was playing tennis with my good buddy Andrew, not our Andrew, but a different Andrew, and he's a minister, and I blame that because when you said Hims, I typed it in 3 times, and I'm like, I don't understand why this ticker isn't working. It's HYMN, HYMN. Why is it not working? I'm like, wrong Hims.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think he put my head there. So we were talking about charitable investment in the religion. So maybe that. Anyways, never mind. Hims and hers.
Yeah, Hims and hers. You do have to be careful. A comment here about the spread being a little bit wide. Yeah, you do have to be careful on that one. All right, let's take a look here. We have what else? I think we're covered, man. I think we're good. Joby, let's look at Joby. You guys are coming in hot and heavy with the messages. Love it. Joby this morning. Oh, look at your favorite ticker. One of your favorite tickers. Joby Aviation up 5%, almost a million shares traded. So maybe some news coming out just now. Again, great daily actually, but not the best intraday trading ticker. So we'll leave this one alone for now. But Peter, it seems like something is happening with your ticker here.
Joby, yeah, they just had an announcement just a couple of minutes ago that they are doubling their production capacity in Marina, California. So going up to 435,000 square feet of manufacturing capacity. So anyways, and they're ramping up, oh wow, they're ramping up stuff in they've got a Dayton, Ohio facility. And and they're deepening their relationship with Toyota. So actually, a whole bunch of little bits of news here and from Joby this morning. So
Interesting. Look at the pop, almost 6% there. Tons of volume coming in. Peter, it looks like you insulted Andrew with your tennis comment. So I insulted him with the plants yesterday. Now you did it with the tennis comment.
I'm not sure how.
I don't know, but I think it was you. And
It can be confusing when you insult Andrew. You never quite know why. Just because another Andrew exists in the world, he's insulted.
He's insulted because you got another Andrew in you have another Andrew in your life. That's not acceptable.
It's funny because there are tons. Every time I tell my wife, I'm like, so I was talking to Andrew today, and she's like, which one? And I'm like, oh, because like I've got 4 different Andrews that I regularly sort of talk with.
Andrew, you hearing this? I like it. Spark the fire there a little bit. You're number 4, Andrew. Oh man! All right, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the next meetup. Nah, I'm just saying. I just assumed. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Although I've got to say, Andrew, I often, when I have to clarify, if I don't use his last name, he's known as Rich Andrew. So.
Oh, I like that. Well, did he make it clear last time that you were not as rich as him? I think that was one of the comments he made. I'm sorry, I'm just starting things for no reason. It's not even Friday.
I think at this point he certainly has more accretive wealth than I do. So
just a little bit. All right, friends, let's get to our webinars over bearbootravers.com. You can always see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. If you click on right over here, we'll bring Peter to that website. Want to make sure I don't close my chat. BearWithTraders.com. Click on webinars at the top. You can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today is beautiful Tuesday. Let's see what's taking place today and what memberships you can possibly join to see Andrew and Brian trade live today.
Yes, indeed. Exactly. So we're going to be live trading here through the open, guys. Get ready for that. And then other things to look forward to over the course of the day, especially if you are an elite member. As an elite member, you can take advantage of a number of webinars and sessions, starting with our live trading session with Avi at 11 o'clock. Then at noon, we've got, is Avi continuing? He's on for 2 hours. Going to be talking about the art of printing money, it looks like. So man, that's pretty awesome. Look at that, double dose. And then tonight we've got our signature webinar, our strategy webinar. That Gary, you're going to be delivering that tonight. It looks like he's going to talk about Fibonacci retracement and extension strategies. So well worth attending. Gary has been trading fantastic. I was giving Gary credit yesterday because he made a call on a stock, and I can't remember what stock were we talking about. The price was 147.50. I remember that. I don't remember what stock it was. What, PLTR? That would make sense. And he called it out like in the morning. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to 147.50 for sure." And I'm like, I remember looking at going, "I don't think so." And absolutely, it went right there and beyond. So he called it, and he was using his levels and his system to understand what the stock was likely to do. And he's going to tell you how he does that, right? And how he leverages the tools to help him better understand the market and the market potential. So attend tonight, 8 o'clock with Gary. You will not be disappointed in the webinar room for all of our elite members. If you want to join us and become an elite member, then all you need to do is go to bearbulltraders.com and you can get all the information needed. You can join using the intro offer right through to the elite annual. They're all good deals. Whichever package is best for you, go check it out, and hopefully we'll see you in the chat room sometime soon. So there you go. There's the different packages, and so that's what you can take advantage of. If you, by the way, want information on the markets, Carlos and I use in the morning at tradingterminal.com to get news and information, the scanners. There's all sorts of good stuff that you can find in there. Go check it out, tradingterminal.com. It's a great place to go. And by the way, it's got its own set of webinars and educational material. You go check that out. You can look into the Academy or under webinars, and you can find information there of stuff that you can take advantage of. Sometimes for a fee, sometimes for free. So check it out. All right, Carlos. We have 9.5 minutes here to the market open, so let's set some levels. I'll let everybody know what our moderators are watching, and we'll get ready for this open here.
Yeah, I don't have much on my list, man. 3 tickers. Nvidia, CoreWeave, and Tesla have some possibles I might move up. So we'll do levels for these 3, and then we can always come back and ask some and see what's going on there. Nvidia, very easy on levels. I mean, just crushing the all-time high. Here's I got my Nvidia CEO jacket on for the trading this morning, so hopefully things go well. Here it is. I have the pre-market. We're looking at 172.87. We'll mark that there, and I believe that is your all-time highs, man. The king of all stocks here with over 4 trillion market cap. Just incredible. So continuing to crush that on some positive news. Towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing a good job. Do not need to add anything else. We'll go straight to CoreWeave, which also has data center news. $6 billion investing there. So that's looking good. 144.90. 144.90 is the high of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. You don't need to add anything else. Above this, you do have a level at 152.40, so we'll slam that there. And then above that, we're looking at 158.85. So pretty easy levels for CoreWeave. This has traded well in the past. Got to be careful with the spread, though. The spread can be a little bit messy, so be aware on how that's moving. Last but not least on my list is going to be Tesla. Look at Tesla today. Up almost 1%, 2.1 million shares traded. Man, Tesla has not been trading all that great. It's been very, very choppy at the market open. So let's hope for something good today. You can see here too that yes, it was not awesome at all. Kind of got stuck in a range. So let's see what happens today. Low of the pre-market, we're way below below the previous day close here under 316.14 is your low. And once you look at this towards the bottom, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Previous day close right here in the middle of all this mess. Above the pre-market high today, 325.17. Great level, and another one right at 330.82. So once you do that, guys, you are all set and ready to go there. All right, Peter, what is our team watching? I see everybody's got their list. People are early and ready to go this morning.
Yeah, so our lists, as you'd expect, have a lot of the usuals on it and the ones that we've already talked about. Lenny got his master list here with AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Hims, Wells Fargo, JPMorgan, Baidu, and Baba. So he's covering all of the different sectors we talked about. Thor is going to be watching Tesla, PLTR, and the futures. Andrew in early with his list, keeping an eye on the semis with Nvidia and AMD. By the way, AMD has had a good move this morning. 4.5 million shares, up 5%. So it looks like it's in play. And he's going to be watching SMCI and the semiconductor index, SOXL, as well. Jared going to be watching Nvidia QS and the trade desk, TTD. He's going to be watching the banks maybe as a secondary. Avi watching his levels as usual. Brian, who will be live trading, will be watching Tesla, Nvidia, Baba, PLTR, and the market indices as always. I've got my list watching AMD, JPMorgan, and Wells Fargo, in addition to my usual Tesla, Nvidia, and PLTR. Phil's going to be watching Tesla, Apple, and NVDA. I'm not sure if that's a mistype or he means NVIDIA. Gary's going to be watching NVIDIA, TTD, JP Morgan, and AMD. Phil is adding Amazon to his list. And that's what we've got so far. So whatever you pick, right? We've got some good targets here. Just be careful. The trading has proven to be challenging, I think, over the last couple of weeks. So, the opportunities are there. Just, be ready for them. Be patient, and they will come. Good luck. Trade smart this morning. We're going to get live traders up and running here. I'm sure that Brian and Andrew are itching, ready to go here. And I know that Carlos and I are. Looking forward to a good day.
Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, over on chat, take care. I see Brian coming on. Andrew should be on next. Have a great trading day. We'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we're just going to disconnect from chat.
All right, and I'm switching over my platform here.
I hear Brian doing his thing. Good. And Yeah, it should be a great day today. But I don't. It should be a great day. We have a lot of new stuff, but my list is very small. So I'm really looking to see where the action is going to be at. What do we get here? And let's see where things happen. Look at Tesla. Tesla making a new pre-market highs, pushing up here now, almost 1%. So I got my 1 minute, my 5 minute. Here's the 1 minute for you guys, and yeah, let's rock and roll. I don't plan on using leverage. I just like the idea of unlimited trades. Yeah, right. You need the margin account. It's funny. He's actually what I asked ChatGPT, where he gave me the wrong information. That was not the most up to date. Someone had mentioned that the turnaround now they have a cash account, and the turnaround was a day, and I was like, no, it's like 2 to 3 days to settle your cash after you do a trade on a cash account. It's like, no, it's a day. So I asked ChatGPT, what's the turnaround on a cash account for settling? And she responded, 2 to 3 days. And like, can you please make sure my friend is telling me that last year this was changed? And that's what she said. Oh, yeah, you're right. It was changed on May something. It settles now overnight. I'm like, wow,
What?
that's pretty good. So cash account settles overnight now. And then I got into asking them about overnight trading. And with Interactive Brokers, you can do overnight trading. And I went to check on my account and noticed it's an overnight trading now that you could do, even after the market is closed. So things are moving, man,
But the fact that you had to challenge the AI
Yeah,
tool and say, is
I
that
did.
right? I thought it changed. And they're like, oh, yeah, look at that. You are right.
That's
I mean,
exactly her response. I was like, oh, man, you just can't take everything for face value.
yeah.
You got to ask the right
can't.
questions, yeah. But yeah, I did not know that. I thought it was 2 to 3 days. It settles overnight. So if you have a cash account, man, you're in good shape. You don't have to wait 2-3 days. That's a long time. Overnight, your cash settles. So that's pretty good.
And that would make sense, right? If it's just
Yeah,
a
and
cash
that's
account,
new.
They don't.
Yeah, that's new because it wasn't like that before, Peter. It was like, well, man, me and you started trading. There was so many restrictions. So we're getting easier and easier on the restriction. I won't be surprised if this PDT stuff goes away in another couple of years. I could see that going away. The way we're heading when it comes to accessibility and allowing more people to trade more, because that's what it is. Allow people to trade more. Who wins, right? The house. The house wins.
Yeah.
If they could trade more. If they could get you to trade more, the house wins. So yeah, it's interesting how things have changed from when we started to now.
Right.
So pretty cool. Hopefully reduce to 10K. They just got to get rid of it, Drew. They just got to get rid of the PTD, because all you're doing is you're forcing people to go overseas, and to come up together with $15,000 to try something that you don't know if you're going to be good at. That's difficult. Now, but instead of 15, you're telling them, no, you got to come up with 25, and it can't be 25. It's got to be 30, because you got to have a buffer. It's a lot of money for someone to try out trading, right? So don't even put a limit on it. Just allow people to do it, and hopefully people are careful.
Yeah.
Again, the rules that were in place before, some of them don't make sense now. So that's got to be revised. Right, and it doesn't make sense because then you penalize the U.S. traders, the U.S. retail traders, but then other traders from other countries can trade the U.S. market without the PDT rule, like our friends in Canada. No, nothing wrong with them doing that, but it doesn't make any sense, Peter. Right? Talk to me about this.
Yeah.
Is this my
Yeah,
rant? I need
well,
a rant. Need a rant
yeah.
emoji. This leather jacket is bringing a lot of
ranting.
tension. I gotta take this thing off. I'm getting on you. I'm getting on Andrew. I'm getting on the banks. This jacket. I don't know what's going on with this jacket, but I don't know what to expect out of trading today.
It's got to be the jacket. Eh?
It's got to be the jacket. 'Cause this is not my type of situation here. And it's made in China from Temu, so it's definitely, I don't know what kind of aura it's bringing. We'll see. All right. Minute 30 seconds to the market open, actually, and yeah, let's see what today brings, friends. Again, not a lot. Nvidia, CoreWeave, and Tesla. Peter, what are you watching quickly here?
Just some of those you mentioned. I'm watching PLTR as well, and a couple of banks, JPMorgan and Wells Fargo. So I have to admit, I also have MP in another chart just to see.
Ooh, let's go. Now things are getting spicy. Oh, look at that. The jacket. Jacket is rubbing off on Peter from the screen. I like it.
All right, there's the bell.
All right, ding, 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 ding. All right, I'm gonna just do it. MP on the secondary list. It does have news today, right? No matter what MP does, we're gonna be disciplined, and it does have news today. It's got great volume. 5 million shares traded, up 11%. Man, volume just died on it.
Oh! Partial.
What happened?
Partial. I'm long AMD. Oh, baby! Look at
long
that.
AMD.
Look at that pop. My God.
Very nice, Peter. Very nice.
I figured I keep missing all of these pops on the semis. Oh, I don't like how fast it's dropping here.
Let me, nice pop, man. That's a $2 move.
Oh, and I just got stopped out. So, all right. So yeah, here you can see. I'll just share it on my screen. Really quick trade. You can see where I got in. Where's my thing? Oh, am I sharing a screen? I'm not sharing a screen.
I don't see it.
There you go.
Ali's asking me if I'm burning up in this jacket. No, man, I'm cool as a fan. Because I keep the AC on blast here. Because if I let up on the ACs here with this CPU, I'll be burning. I'm looking for your screen, Peter. Where is it?
I just added it, so
you just put it there now. Okay, I have it here. There it is. Got it. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So and what you can't tell from that, because it all happened in the same minute. So I entered, and my first partial was actually the one that was the highest. Then my second partial was the next one down. So my first partial was over 155. Then I got the second one, and then I put my stop to break even, and it came right down and stopped me out a few seconds later. So that was great. Like you said, I got from my entry, which was 5. So I really only got $1, but I got exactly $1 on that first partial. And the whole trade lasted 29 seconds.
That was fast. That was fast, man. But AMD's going to go higher. I mean, it doesn't matter. The trade was great. But AMD's on 5. It looks like it wants to go here.
I should have added back, got into it when I hit 154 and bounced. Oh, well, easy to say. I just wanted to be part, because I don't normally trade right at the open, and I feel like I keep missing these open pops, right? And being AMD was so active, I thought, let's give it a shot, because Nvidia did not look that active.
Yeah, you're always saying, I should have jumped in, then you take the damn trade sign. So yeah, I agree, that's a good move. Just take it, quick in and out, whatever. Yeah, I like it.
Anyways, we'll see what happens
here.
It. Now, okay. Now I can take that money and see, not stress over the rest of the day, whatever other trades.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Andrew, long AMD in chat, man. That's a good entry. It's gonna be good if it can go here. So AMD very strong. Andrew's long as well. Tesla. All right, minute 3. Let's see what it finds. CoreWeave not doing a whole lot. Nvidia. Oh, Nvidia. Look at that strong move up above the VWAP. Stocks near VWAP or near all-time highs like Nvidia are so tough, man. Do we have more left here, or are people feeling to take some profits, right? So let's see. I like it for long and short. So I really do like it. I like the rejection here if we start seeing some weakness below the VWAP, and I like it long if we start regaining the VWAP. So both look good potentials. Let's see which one wins, and then we'll join that party. Here it is. We're pushing higher. I'll be looking for a 5-minute ORB on this thing. Let's see. Need a couple of seconds to see how this ends up. MP is rocking.
I was gonna say, it's moving higher. MP.
I saw the comments. Oh man, look at MP. Good. MP. It has no fault.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah. No hard feelings. No hard feelings to what it did to us. If you missed it, we traded MP so bad, me and Peter. It was just disgusting. But it's not MP's fault.
And no, it wasn't the stock's fault. Not at all.
Yeah. All right, what we're seeing here, rejection of VWAP on Nvidia. I like the volume on Nvidia, man. It's so good. I mean, look at the numbers just flickering. We are cranking, baby. No definition yet on what I like here, short or long. They both have potential, which makes it tougher to trade to see where this thing is gonna go. Okay, we're setting to the long side, maybe. Okay, all right, we're getting ready here. Let's see. Oh man, this is a tough trade. This is a hard trade because it can really go either way. Like I got an engulfing on the 5 minute. If you look at the 5 minute, you got like an engulfing setting up here. You're above the VWAP. What is this candle gonna do here? Are we gonna go up? Yeah, let's try. All right, let's go in long Nvidia here. 5 minute ORB. I like the engulfing pattern. Let's see if this is gonna hold up. Right, so we got a nice engulfing here. Let's see if this is gonna hold up above the VWAP. And where's my pre-market high level? Oh wow, 172.87.
172. Yes.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for this one, 172.37, because I think that 172.87 is pretty high.
Yeah, 172.35. There's an area. 172.35. Right. There's an area of sort of resistance that it has hit a couple of times pre-market, Carlos. So be aware of that. Yeah. But look at this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I marked. Yeah, I marked that level there because I think that's more reasonable. That 172.37, right where you're talking about, right? We hit that a couple of times in the pre-market. So let's see. Trying to be patient, get a good move, but this is good enough for me. I try, but can't wait a couple of seconds. I'm not gonna hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially when it's this early, right? You can get some pretty, whipsaw, erratic moves. So.
Yep, absolutely. Andrew was already long. Andrew beat me to it. Andrew was long from here. I didn't even know that. He's long like from here.
Before you. So.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Good. I'm not totally going nuts with the jacket. All right. That's good. That's good.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know. Good to get that confirmation. Let's see if we can get the continuation here. So partial right there. It's a good partial, about 80 cents. Not bad. Let's see if we can get some more. Will be awesome. Struggling to get that push again. All-time high stocks, man. They're so tough here because of just how high they are. When I got in here, my stop is usually below the VWAP, but in this case, have such a good entry at the VWAP that you're gonna give us a little bit of room. So 170.60. I don't want to go in below here. That's my stop. Now my stop is definitely the VWAP, right? Because we got a partial already. I don't want to keep it at just on my entry, on my break-even point. I'd rather give it 20 cents to see if the VWAP is going to hold. We saw that yesterday too, and we see that quite a lot. If you give it just a little bit of room, it might come and test the VWAP and go higher. So it depends. That could change depending how the price action turns. So like right now, I'm just seeing weakness here. I don't see the momentum at all at the moment. So. But again, let's see how this candle closes. We got on the 5 minute, we got one more minute to see how this engulfing pattern is going to work. So that's good right there. If we can get to the high of the day there, let's get the push. All right, looking good.
Yeah, come on, Nvidia, go for Carlos.
I know, right?
We are go for Carlos. Let's be go for Carlos.
Yeah, SpaceX landed some people back home after like 20 days. I was watching the recording.
From the ISS or where
I don't know where they came from. It was 20 days. I assume that's probably the only way they go.
Could they be?
Wherever could they be? Yeah. Unless Elon has another station somewhere. Yeah.
Well, maybe he's got a
Who
secret
knows?
Death Star or something. I mean, who knows?
I will not be surprised. Will not be surprised. I'm out of Nvidia, guys. Let's see if it sets up again, we'll go. But again, these all-time highs is really tough. So if I see some strength, actually this could be another great entry here as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go back long. We're bouncing off the VWAP. Let's see if we can get the push. Oh, no, I don't like it. I'm getting out. No, getting out. Short, small loss there, but I'm getting out. It's trading tough, man. It's trading tough. So I don't like it. Once I notice, why am I doing getting in here? Right, so it's a downtrend. Like the 5-minute looks great for a possible bounce, but you're in this downtrend. You don't want to jump on that. Let's leave that alone. So 15 cents. I'll stop out there. Not bad. All right, POTR. Let's take a look at POTR. I missed the short, guys. I'm on this already. I missed it. So it would have been here off the VWAP, right? 5-minute RB breakdown. Yeah, I missed it already. I will not chase this here, but this looks to be a good short on POTR. That is nice. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Tesla. Man, Tesla. What is going on with the messiness? Wasn't like this yesterday too, Peter, I think, right? It was
Tesla,
pretty...
yeah, Tesla's been pretty messy for a while here. It did get some good moves, but it was only later in the day than it really started to...
yeah, what's going on with this stock?
So.
Weird. All right.
Well, AMD looks like a trade that I should have stuck with, but it was very it was moving quite aggressively up and down right at the open. So I don't regret getting out of it. I'm just glad that I at least tried it. But yeah, look, 157.50, just missed getting 158 by a penny so far.
I mean, you got a $2 pop almost on this thing, right? I mean, that was
it's only a buck that I was able to.
Oh, it's only a buck.
On,
oh, okay.
Well, it was $2. The candle was $2, but I only managed to capitalize on a buck of it. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, is Andrew still in AMD? I thought I saw him in it earlier.
No, he got out. I think.
He got out. Why he got out? This look. He had
that's a good
entry.
question. He did. I don't know.
Oh. Let's see.
We'll
see if he brings it up. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to ask him. Yeah, because I saw his entry was like over here. I mean, unless he wants to focus just on Nvidia, could be. I don't know.
I mean, he's got a legitimate reason for not trusting AMD, because AMD in the past has not always performed that well as a momentum type stock. Yeah, so who knows?
Yeah, yep. Tesla's crappy. Core weave coming back above the VWAP. Nvidia. I think Nvidia could be along later. We'll have to wait for it to settle down. MP. High have they breakout on MP? Peter, what are we thinking here? High have they breakout?
That's a good question.
What's
Let's see. Where's that? Let me put MP.
High have they breakout? Possible revenge trade? Get our money back? What are we thinking? It's strong, but it looks strong, man. It looks like it just wants to keep going. Wow. What's the levels here? What's the daily look like?
Look, we're well above anything. I think we're...
Wow, we're near all-time high. We're near it from 2022. I'm gonna mark down 60.04. It might not be that, right? If they had any after hours or pre-market push, it's not gonna show here, so it could be higher. But 60.04 is what I have off the daily. Man, I should have jumped in. You know why? Because that would have been a good high of day, and also you got a 5-minute ORB setting up there as well. But these are tough trades. Tough trades.
Yeah, they are.
When they're moving like this. Again, we've seen this before. We saw it with an AMD here as well. They're not easy trades to jump in on, unfortunately. So. Not easy. Tesla, core weave. Wow, what is going on? Today should be a good day. We should be getting tons of stuff to trade here. Hims is okay. PTR. Almost a good short if you got in early at 9:35 for a 5-minute RB breakdown. That's a beautiful 5-minute RB breakdown. You get the push, the drop, the pullback to the VWAP. You jump short here, and you get the low of the day at least for a partial. That's clean. But VWAP breakout. It's kind of early, but
yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like the VWAP breakout when you have the previous day close right on here as well. That's not ideal for me. Usually it can still work, but it's not great.
It's interesting.
What's the what defending what? Defending DJT.
You know, stock that looks really weird this morning is
which one?
CRCL.
CRCL.
You bring up CRCL. Look at so if you're probably gonna look at it on a see the 1 minute. See how like all these candles are overlapping like that. Like it's just that's a very strange pattern.
Yeah.
Like that. But then look at a 5 minute. Like it looks great on a 5 minute.
It does look great on a 5. I got the 5 minute right at the bottom here. There you go. So yeah.
And what's even weirder is if I've got one chart where I exclude pre and post market data.
Yeah.
And if you look at the like a 5 minute chart for example,
you have it up
excluding the pre market. No, but you could here I can do that. CRCL. And what we'll do is we'll take out pre and post. So there you go. So there's what's interesting if you look at it like this, right? So it went all the way up into the close here to close at 204, and then it sort of started this morning sort of at the low point of the afternoon yesterday, and then it's making the same retracement. So we're just sort of making the same move for a second time over. You look at a 5 minute, it looks even more sort of obvious what's happening here, right? As we sort of started, down where we sort of were hanging out yesterday and retracing this move. So anyways, just find it very interesting chart.
Yeah, sure is.
I don't know I don't know how to trade it, but it just
well,
interesting.
I was gonna go to that too, right? So for example, like CMCI, I see it here, guys, is running, but what's the strategy, right? I'm not gonna chase it up here. I'm not getting in on this. So it's always what's the strategy. Usually, I was telling this to my P Capital mentees last week. Usually, when you look over at something and it looks really good, it's probably too late. Right. It's probably too late. Usually, not always, not the case, right? You can still get in here and probably still get $2 more. But usually, when you go over and you look at it, and this is running up, it's probably too late. Strategies usually you want to anticipate this move, right? So let's say you're watching this stock and you're seeing, hey, it's bouncing off of VWAP, looking strong. Your entry's here, right? For me, typically, that's why I want to anticipate the possible breakout. High of the day breakout, the strategy, high of the day breakout happens here. You can get in for this high of the day breakout. What's the strategy here? I don't have one here. Here, this is what we talk about all the time. This strategy, when things are running like this, I mean, there's some ABCD patterns you can get in on. If you're scalping, you can get in quickly with a tight stop for a quick pop. That's not one of my strategies. So you have to have a strategy, right? So I don't have one here. Don't see how I can join this party. But man, look at it rock. Beautiful. So hopefully you guys are in it. Hopefully you guys are in SMCI. Hopefully it's good, looking good. Let's see. AMD is going to another one that's rocking here again. Unfortunately, this is out of my trade book right now. So Nvidia, so crappy. I mean, it gave us a nice little pop here, partial, stopped out. We thought it was going to bounce. You got out quickly after realizing this is not looking good. Somewhat of a downtrend. Market was also selling off. Now you do have somewhat of a VWAP breakdown, but I don't trust it given how bad it's been trading. But this setup here is something I would take short, right? The break down the VWAP, the pullback, and then the breakdown here. This is my entry. Target at least the low of the pre-market. Do we trust it the way this thing's been trading the last couple of minutes? I don't know. Let's see what it wants to do here. Tesla.
I was thinking of a short on Nvidia, but like you said, trusting it is the tough thing, especially this early
Yeah,
into the
it's
day.
yeah, but it looks like it's working, man. We should have got in. I don't know. I don't know. You gotta
AMD, AMD
almost a
over
dollar pop.
158.
Yeah, AMD is looking good. Tesla. Someone mentioned Tesla. What do we like, Melanie? Tesla. Melanie mentioned Tesla.
Tesla doesn't look great to me.
AMD in crypto. Are they investing in crypto now? This is what's driving this. That's all we need now. Um, Watching and waiting. All right, so Melanie's got her scope on Tesla. Yeah, I don't know, friends. I don't see anything great right now. MP's rocking here, doing some stuff. Hood. Let's take a look at Hood. I do like when Hood is trading well. I can trade pretty nice. Nice breakout above the previous day close. Last time we traded Hood, we didn't get the continuation. We had a good entry, and we just couldn't get the continuation on it. So, Challenge Trader, hello, how are you, my friend? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Who's leading the board today? All right, good friends over here. Where's Ben? Oh, Ben is falling behind. Ben is usually winning towards the end. He's like a marathon runner there, man. He's usually, I check here, he's usually at the top. Got Melanie in there. I got the usual suspects in here. Pretty cool. I wish these had the actual names and not the username. Would have been better. That's okay.
Nvidia heading to low of day here, down below.
No way.
170.
Oh man, we should have taken that short. I was unsure given how crappy was trading.
Right.
Should have trusted the jacket, man. Come on, jacket.
Trust the jacket.
Oh, look at this. That would have been a good short for us. We'd have been in at 170.80. But again, you can only make decisions with the information you have, right? The information I had here was not great. So whether it works out or not, you can't beat yourself up because of that. The Fonz, ain't that the show? That show,
Happy Days.
Happy Days. Yeah. Man, I was young when that show came out. When they were playing, I didn't understand half the jokes. When it used to come out, I'm like, oh, this crap again, and I used to change it because I was watching either DuckTales or some other cartoon. And when Happy Days came on, I liked the song. I remember we watched the song and then we changed it. Like, all right, that's it. We don't understand the jokes.
Launched the career of one of the great producers of our time.
Who? Ron Howard. Yes.
Ron Howard. He was sort of the main character basically in Happy Days.
Yeah.
Fonz was just meant to be a secondary character, but everybody loved him so much they gave him extra lines. But anyways,
that's what happened with Steve Urkel. Remember Family Matters? He was not supposed to be the main character, and he was just coming in here and there, and people loved him so much that they switched the entire script to make him the main character. But he was not supposed to be. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Did he do that?
I fall and I can't get out. Good times.
Yeah.
I'm hurting right now with Nvidia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Andy Griffith. Yeah. I don't know the background there as much, but I mean he was a child actor, right? Ron Howard. I don't know. I'd say that would be his big role though. Was Happy Days.
Yeah.
Much more comfortable as a director.
So.
Some good expressions. Do you know the expression "jumping the shark"?
No, I do not. What does that mean?
Oh,
no.
If you say somebody's jumping the shark, it's basically it's an expression to mean you're desperate. You're desperate for attention or fame or whatever. So you're gonna do something desperate. Jumping the shark. like jumping a shark. Anyways, it all comes from an episode of Happy Days when they were losing ratings, and they needed to do something to regain the ratings. So they had the Fonz. They had Henry Winkler jump the shark. And if you go look for the clip somewhere, they actually had him on water skis because this was long before they could do special effects and stuff. And he is a horrible water skier. He was barely standing up on this thing. And then they, of course, had a different actor who I think actually went over the jump, but he literally jumped a shark. In a
Yeah.
Sort of means the run is over. Exactly. You're desperate. You're going to do anything for fame, but pretty much you're just grasping at straws to try and hang on to your fame. Anyways, jumping the shark.
Well, ChatGPT got this right. They went straight to. It comes from a 1977 episode of TV show Happy Days, when Fonzie literally jumps over a shark on water skis. Yeah. ChatGPT got it
wearing
right
his leather jacket, by the way.
Oh, there we go. Another leather jacket situation.
So, yeah, because he never takes the leather jacket off.
Yeah. When I should go back to some of these older shows that didn't make sense to me when I was younger. Seinfeld was one of them. I have gone back to Seinfeld. Seinfeld, same thing. Came on at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, this is so corny. But now, that's the only wow, this is the greatest show on earth. I love
Seinfeld.
funny, man.
There was an episode that applied to every day of your life, but I was at the right age, right? Because I was in my 20s.
Well, you're 10 years older than me, right? 10 years older than me, 8 years older. That's a big difference when you're younger. So yeah, I can see you getting those jokes. Yeah. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Wow, friends. Nvidia, Peter, that was a good move. Tesla's breaking down now too. No, same thing. Awesome. Frasier, I didn't watch Frasier. It used to come on after my I was into the Kiss stuff, right? Saved by the Bell and all these other younger shows. Frasier came on, I was like, I can't relate, But now you see reruns and you're like, wow, that's funny.
Mork and Mindy, yeah. Mork and Mindy was an offshoot of Happy Days, wasn't it? Because didn't he appear for just one episode in a weird Happy Days episode, and they liked him enough that they gave him his own show?
Yeah. Tesla Red. You'll see that.
Yeah. It's funny because one of the most beloved shows out there is Friends. And I get that. I understand it. I have to admit, I never liked Friends.
No way.
Never liked the show.
It is funny, man. It is. Have you seen the leather pants episode? If you cannot laugh at the leather pants episode with Ross, then I don't know, your sense of humor is. I'm sure you will laugh, Peter. But the leather pants episode is the funniest thing in the world.
Probably. It was one of those where I just never, I don't know, I never got into it. Seinfeld I loved because for some reason those jokes resonated with me. But Friends,
right.
I'm not. Yeah, admittedly there's a whole series of what I call neurotic New Yorkers. There's a whole series of shows that are all about neurotic New Yorkers that I could never get into. That just annoyed me. Felt very New York insular to me, but anyways.
Yeah, I guess if depends if you can relate to it. My sister-in-law is a huge fan, so she always had it on, and we just watched it. It was funny, man. It was so funny.
Yeah, there you go. Anyways, but there was a period of time when there was just a whole bunch of those shows, all sitcoms about people living in New York. There was a one with the married couple too that. Pivot. I mean, I do know some of the famous lines, right? Like, "How you doing?" I mean, everybody knows Joey and how you doing. 2.5 Men. I never liked 2.5 Men. Not a show I enjoyed. Charlie Sheen. Not a fan. So that probably. Married with Children. I did love. I did like that show. I loved it. Very irreverent humor. Now I look at it and it's downright rude. A lot of it. But
well, half of the show is 20, 15 years ago. You look at them now, you're like, oh man, this is. It's either that's rude, that's wrong, that's racist, or or you shouldn't use that language.
Yeah.
We had. It was less sensitive back then, Peter. Less sensitive. Now, you just.
I mean, not right though. Like when I was a kid, one of the shows I watched all the time was Three's Company. You guys remember that? Jack Ritter, who's dead now, but anyways, but Jack Ritter and Three's Company, and I look back at some of the episodes of Three's Company, and they were not appropriate. I mean, the character Jack pretending to be gay, and it was really quite inappropriate. Three's Company, for sure. Yeah. Anyways. All right, guys. Nvidia here looks like it's hit a low and it's bouncing back a little bit. We got AMD, which definitely topped there. The 158, it did get over it. 158.50-ish is where it sort of faltered, and now it's moved back down below VWAP. So we actually got some better moves this morning than we've seen in a while, I think. At least maybe I'm just watching the right stuff. But it's still not easy day. I don't think this was an easy day. It's not like we had massively trending stocks.
I know, man. I thought it was going to be much better day, but it's okay. Tesla bouncing off the previous day close. CoreWeave. Nvidia looks the best for a reversal, actually. I think Andrew's already on in that reversal. He is long on this bad boy. I like the potential to get back to the VWAP here as well. So let's see what Nvidia does. But we miss a beautiful short here. So you're right, Peter. There's been a lot of great plays. Like I should have not put too much weight on what had happened before this candle. This is our setup. I should have taken a short, but it is what it is, right? Can't harp on it no more. But yeah, I don't. How's MP doing? MP showing some weakness here. But again, volume dying down very fast on it. Tesla VR breakout. Let's take a look. Just popped up out of nowhere here. How's the market doing? Market is still selling downish somewhat.
Selling downish?
Yeah, I don't know that's the word. If it is, made it up, but it sounded good. Selling downish.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It actually did sound good, and then I ran it through my head again. I'm like, wait a second, what?
It's a chat GPT type of word there. I do gotta say though, when I write these emails now, you highlight it and you say rewrite. The words that at least Apple AI picks are really nice. Like it makes your sentence more readable. Like like sometimes you when you're writing an email, you type it the way you actually talk, and that's not usually how the best way to read an email is, right? This is why writers, editors, they make money. They write it so that someone reading it can read it nicely and flow smoothly. It does a great job of putting things in a different order so it flows a lot smoother. So I even do it with some of my text now. It's simple. Select all, rewrite, rephrase, and I'm like, oh, wow, sounds really good. So it's a really cool stuff that AI is doing there. Tesla's looking good for potential long if we can get above the VWAP. So thinking about it. Curve Your Enthusiasm, enthusiasm, yes. It's a funny show. It's so funny. My brother put me on to that.
Show.
Yeah,
I have to. There's two of those that I put in the same category of shows that people like that I've never watched. Curb Your Enthusiasm and Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've never seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I could see Curb Your Enthusiasm not working out if you watched it when you was younger. Right. It depends where you are in your life, Peter. I think that has a lot to do with the shows. For example, Saved by the Bell, when I was growing up, I could relate to it. So a lot of us watched Saved by the Bell. It was so funny. We were in high school. They were in high school, and we could relate to it. Seinfeld couldn't relate to it. Frasier couldn't relate to it. So I think it depends where you are in life and what you can relate to at that point. Right. So.
Yeah. I think that would be the 10-year difference to me, because Saved by the Bell came out. I was past high school, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah, like I watched that.
This just seemed dumb to me.
Exactly. And that's what I thought about Seinfeld and some other ones, and now I go back and look at them, and I'm like, oh, this is hilarious, man. How did I miss this? Well, you wouldn't have got it back then. Tesla failed the VR breakout, so this is not going to work.
The show that
my
son got me into after it had came on was It's the comedy cop show. Something 99.
Nine nine.
Why can I never remember the name? Jake Peralta uh, is the
Um,
character. No, Brooklyn Nine
uh,
Nine. Brooklyn Nine
oh,
Nine.
Brooklyn Nine
That's what
Nine. I
it's
thought he was
called.
gonna say Chip and Dale's in Oh man, I used to
No,
watch
no.
that. Da-na-na, with the bikes.
Brook-
Was it Chip and Dale's? Chip and what
Uh,
was the California motorcycle cops? Chip
oh,
and something.
yeah, it was Highway Chips is what it
Highway
was called.
patrols, chips. Yeah,
Cali California Highway Patrol, and it was the character Eric Bana? No,
chips. Yeah, chips. Chips. Yeah, that was
yeah.
good.
What were the characters' name?
It was fun.
Uh, Knight Rider, yeah, Chips and Knight.
Eric Estrada.
That's his
Damn.
name.
Yes.
But what were the characters' names? Anybody remember out
Uh,
there? Watch?
wow. I don't remember, man. And I used to watch that show a lot. All right, Tesla
Watch.
backup of
Doesn't
the
sound as familiar as I
VWAP.
thought it would. Anyways, all right, lots of shows. All right, we're completely
Yeah.
digressing here, but
That's okay. We're still looking at stocks and trades.
I'm still watching stuff. I'm still waiting
Yeah,
for
still watching.
AMD. Yeah, AMD.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know what it's
Let's
doing
see. I'm long Tesla.
now. Oh,
Yeah, we
you're
did
going
we
for
did a
it.
retest there, and then we came up again, and then we're added above the VWAP. So I think we might go here.
Okay.
I think we might go here. The way this is setting up is not an ideal trade the way it happened here, but I like the fact that we're back above the VWAP here, and I don't think we might get another retest. I think we might just go. So let's see. Let's see if we can get above. Stop on this, guys. Three below 318.50. We got to give it some room. Really should be here. I don't want to give it that much though, but it should be here. 318.18. So let's see. Melanie, are you in this? I know you're watching Tesla. Let's see. Let's see if we can get the breakout on it. Would love to see it go back. I don't think it'll get to the high of the day, but at least here, this 320.18 will be awesome. That's where a lot of the resistance has come in the past. It will be great to get up there. It might take a while, but it'll be nice. Yeah. So Peter, I always hung out with older people in my job, especially much older, 25, 30 years older than me, because I started working very young in a corporate office, and I moved up pretty fast to like a senior manager, and every other manager was a lot older. And when they would say these
Yeah.
reference of the movies, I remember being 28, 30. I'm just like, I don't know what the heck these guys are talking about. Like, I just couldn't relate at all, man. It was the minute I started talking about movies in the lunch break, I'm like, I gotta move. I don't know what this guy's gonna bring up. You don't watch that show? Oh my god! Wait, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 28. Oh no wonder you're like a kid. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
I used to get that a lot at work too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember people specifically like talking about taking vacations in September, October, and I with young kids that just couldn't compute. Like I could not wrap
Yeah.
my head around how could you possibly vacation right after school started? There's just so much happening
Yeah.
and so much going on. Like you can't. It just doesn't make sense. Right now, I'm like, dude, this is like the best time to vacation. Everybody's back at work and school, and every time I go to Europe, I almost always go September, early October because the weather's still good.
Yeah.
Most of the crowds are gone. It's a great time to vacation. Things are a little cheaper.
All right, let's see. Nvidia pulling back a little bit here, hitting right to my
Tesla, you mean?
318.50. Sorry, Tesla. Yes, Tesla. Let's see if it's gonna hold here. Let's go. This will be an important candle. What are you gonna do? Get back above the VWAP will be great. Just kind of continue that pattern nicely. Let's see if we could do that, or if not, I'll get out on it. So no big trades today. Slightly green, a little bit green, just because we did here. Then we lost a little bit over here. But again, the big move was this one here. We got a couple of cents there, but not much. So this trade will determine if we can get something going here. but I'm really surprised on how little opportunities I had today. Maybe what I was watching was not great, but not many
So
opportunities today.
there were a couple of opportunities, but they weren't always where you expected. Like Microsoft, for
Yeah.
example, Carlos. Sort of your type of move on Microsoft, but that wouldn't be something you'd normally be watching, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see.
PLTR, yeah, PLTR, not an easy move there because it was really choppy below the VWAP. It did sort of break over and then it's gone a little bit higher, but not the cleanest.
All right, Tesla. That's what we want to see. Let's keep this higher highs, higher lows. And the 5 minutes looking really good. I can't get too hung up on the 1 minute, but the 5 minutes looking great here. This is what we want to see, right? Higher highs, higher lows. So that's good. Don't want to get too hung up on the 1 minute. I don't want it hanging out too much below 318.50. Really, the stop should be 318.20, like another 30-20 cents lower. But I believe if it comes below this, then I gotta start thinking about getting out, because I think that's when you're gonna get the flush, right? So let's see if we can continue to stay above that. SMCI still doing some stuff. SMCI bounced off the VWAP back to the high of the day. Nice ABCD pattern on the 5 minute. Yeah, so that's a lot going on here.
Well, Anders turned his day around with this trade on
Nice.
Nvidia that he sort of took off the bounce off the lows, and it's really working well. He's very happy right now.
That is a
Very happy.
beautiful reversal. He got in here, I think, in this area. He's been in it for a bit. Yeah, that's nice. That is real nice. Breaking to the VWAP now. If you can get our move here, that's another opportunity. But I'm in Tesla, struggling to get going here. Coming down below 318.50. Like, it keeps coming back to this stop area for me. So I might need to jump out of this one. We'll see if it can hold here. Bring it to you guys here. Yeah, see, it's not holding. Yeah, I'm gonna bail on it. It's tough. It's very tough today, man. Wow, what a horrible fill on the bids there. So about $1 loss on that thing. Let me see what Andrew's doing here. Yeah, man, what a beautiful trade. And then he added towards the end there. That's awesome. On Nvidia. All right, friends. Rest so far now with this last trade. But not bad. Not a bad day. It's just not a lot of opportunities, man. I'm really shocked given all the news that we have going here. Core weave above the VWAP. Spread is not bad. I always got to look at the spread on this one because it can be a little tough at times. So you got to be very careful. AMD. And Peter, your trade so far only AMD this morning, right?
Only that one. Yep.
Yep, nice. AMD's giving us our move. Do we trust it? Everything looks good on it. Tesla's just so messy. So messy. Look at this.
Yeah.
Clean break here, but then the hit didn't continue. But it's not ideal at all, man. Nvidia retesting VWAP. Yeah, the tough part about Nvidia though, for a retest here, is that it's ran up so much now, man. Yeah, it can still get going, but it's ran up quite a bit.
Yep.
You want to make sure that you have enough juice to get to 172.37 at least off the VWAP here. So here's the breakthrough, the retest, and then here's a confirmation candle. I just don't know if we're going to have enough push to get going here. No, I am not in AMD, guys. Should I have gone long AMD? Where? Here? Not sure. This actually looks better to me than Nvidia. If it can show strength, yeah, because Nvidia's ran up so much. This actually looks much cleaner than Nvidia if we can get that confirmation candle. But Nvidia, it's a tougher one. The move was where Andrew took it here. This is the move. He took it from here, you know, into this area. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, AMD. Nice. Please tell me you guys took this trade. That is a great breakout.
Andrew's in it.
Oh, man. I took my eyes off it for a second to check AMD. Yeah, that's a great breakout, man. See, this is nice. So, clean breakout, the pullback. And then our confirmation candles happening here. And this, since it hasn't moved as much as Nvidia, there's a higher chance it can even push higher, right? I'm not saying it's going to do it, but it's a much higher chance for it to get going. So we'll see. Looks good. Looks good. And Andrew's in it. Awesome. SPY's recovering here as well. You're still long Nvidia. AMD, awesome. Nice. Oh, but you got out. Why you got out? Where was your stop and entry? Amen. Yeah, AMD actually, I gotta say, today AMD is trading out of character, man. Definitely trading out of character. It's really nice today. Even Peter took a shot of it this morning. Did well. Andrew's trading it now. And we gotta ask Andrew why he got out of this trade. You gotta see his trade, how good it is. The first one on AMD. So we'll get with him. But his first trade on AMD was awesome. He got in. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. So here's his trade. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Right over here. We'll zoom into it. He does it when he talks about it later. But look at this beautiful trade. Long, long, long. And then partial, partial, partial. But then I think he just got all out. Yeah. He could have wrote this out. So he must have saw something he didn't like. Or maybe he just focused on it. He was focused on Nvidia or something else. But it's a nice entry there, man. Really good. But he's back in it. He's back in it here. Partial already, 157. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Come on, AMD. Get going for our people here. Why are you messing around? But AMD today has been trading very, very nice. Partial out on Tesla. Very good. You're short Tesla, I'm assuming? Yama, you traded short Tesla. Friends, let's take care of some stuff. If you guys will help us, hit that thumbs up if we haven't done so already. It helps us out a ton. Let's take a look here how our likes are doing today. I haven't looked, we haven't asked, but I think it's a good time to ask you guys to help us out there. Really appreciate it. 943 people watching today. At the moment, 277 likes, 400 is our goal, guys. Help us get there. 400 is our kind of our goal each day. All right, here's Nvidia. So I expected, right, Nvidia to kind of not go up right away, but if it consolidates and then we start getting more buyers, then boom, we can have another breakout. That's what I was hoping for Tesla to do, and it completely failed. But doesn't mean Nvidia has to. So let's see if Nvidia can get back above the VWAP. You know, this consolidation is actually very healthy for it to happen here, because now we can give an opportunity for buyers to come in, reset, and go higher if it can get above the VWAP. So let's see. Yes, 400 likes is when Peter gets paid, guys, right? So Peter does not get paid until he has 400 likes. So
that's right.
You know,
help me here,
that's why we're bothering you. It's the only reason. If not, you know,
I need the paycheck.
I need the paycheck, man, because I ain't getting nothing for 400 likes, but Peter is, right? So let's hit those thumbs up. No, but in all seriousness, man, it means a lot to us to get the likes. That's what we ask. If not, trust me, wouldn't bother with it, but it does help the show a ton. So thank you for that. And it allows me to afford more Temu leather jackets. This costs $37, Peter. You can't tell on camera. On camera, you cannot tell. This looks really good.
I just don't wear it in the rain, right? I guess you
no.
saying?
And the zippers work. The zippers actually do work, right? I probably got 100 tries of these before the zipper starts, falling apart. And right there,
don't do too much.
Right there, I just wasted 5 there, so I'm not gonna do more of that.
No,
but yeah, $37. Free shipping. Timo got it done. There it is.
Before,
I know, Ben.
Before tariffs,
I just use.
Have you looked it up now? What's the price today for that jacket?
I have not. I have a Timo account that I can log into.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
and
check
what's the deal?
Nvidia back above VWAP here. AMD as well. We'll see if they can hold here.
Channel Metallica and it hit the likes. Yes. All right, friends. Let's see here. It is still, Peter's still $32.
If you actually go through the order, is there like a fee they add onto it, or is it still the same price?
Here it is. Here's my order. $32. Now let's see if I click on this. Oh, look, I get the brown one for $25.
Oh.
Almost sold out. Oh, but look at the size. They don't got my size. They don't got my size here. The sizes are all over the place. That's not good.
Look at that. It's even on sale. It's gotten cheaper.
It's the one I got with everything on there, yeah.
Okay.
No, look at this. No import charges, Peter. Here's your answer.
Okay.
No import charges. All right, local warehouse. So, no tariffs for you, my friend.
That's good. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing. All right. Let's see here. I should put that song on the board. Yeah, I should, but that would get flagged so quickly. Anything with any artist will get flagged immediately. Oh yeah, copyright right away. You can't do anything. Like it's incredible. Oh, they're so good with that. Core weave above the VWAP here. Do we trust this thing? Not really. Not really. It looks good. Tesla fell apart. AMD still somewhat in play. Trying to hold on to the VWAP. Core weave looks interesting. Just the volume is not where it needs to be for a possible breakout here. So I'm not taking that. Nvidia's looking good, guys. Nvidia's holding. This consolidation was nice. It's holding here. 5 minute looks good as well for a possible breakout. At least test of the high of the day would be awesome. You got to have a wide stop, though. Your stop's got to be for how I was going to trade, it's got to be like 170.50. If you're trying to get to the high of the day, you can't have a stop here because you'll get stopped out. It's got to be down here for the high of the day of like 172.20, which is a 1 to 2 at least as far as reward. How's the level 2? Do we have anything here? There's no indication on level 2, not that I see. I don't know. I want to take another trade because we still got. I feel like I haven't traded much. But I want to take the right trade. I want to take the right trade here. Let's see. And just looking at MP, that's the one that we had last week, up 23% now. This thing is just continues to push here. I like Nvidia, guys. I'm gonna go long Nvidia. I like the consolidation here. I like the 5-minute. My stop has got to be 150.60 at least, I think. So
what? 170?
Nvidia 170.60, yeah. 170.60. Got to give it some room here, but let's see. I like it long here. I think there could be a breakout to the high of the day. Is what I'm aiming for, which is 172.24. And I'm going to try to hold on off on a partial until then, but no guarantees. Let's see if we can get going. Andrew should still be in Nvidia, right? Yeah, he's still in it. Yep, he's still in it. He added.
Let's see here, yeah.
Yep, he added here right above the VWAP. I'm looking at his trades now. He got a nice early pop on this thing too. I haven't seen that one because it was so hectic in the morning. But you can see early on he got a entry, immediate pop. Kind of like what you got in AMD, Peter. That quick pop as well. Yeah. Took partials, added again, didn't work, stopped out, but then here he is the big winner. That's the big winner there. That's a big time move. Clean too. So we'll talk more about that later. All right, let's see if Nvidia can get me to the high of the day, and we'll buy more leather jackets, friends. We'll buy more leather jackets on Temu. I'll get the brown. I'll get the brown one, maybe the red one.
We'll get the red one. Jackets. Michael Jackson. Is it red? Like, is Michael Jackson
Let's see. Red leather jacket zippers. Right? He has zippers or buttons? I think he had buttons.
He had zippers. He was all zippers.
Zippers, yeah. Ooh, there's some good stuff here, man. Oh yeah. Is this an AI? Is that an AI picture? I think this is AI. Look at that, Peter. Well, these guys look AI. Yeah. Like this guy looks fake. It looks AI. That could be good, but the fingers look okay. Yeah.
Fake rugged chinned.
Yeah, look at that. That look is like you're scared. What's
placing a Temu? I am not. I refuse to log into Temu because I know that they're already advertising the heck out of me. Oh, look at how big his hand is.
That's definitely AI. Yeah. No question.
He's got gorilla arms.
Look at
Wait, go back to that guy.
Yeah, it's right here. Look at that.
He's got gorilla arms. Look when he waves. Look how, his hand is the size of his head. Look at that. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's definitely AI. No, it's definitely AI. Look at the eyes. So the eyes is just. What are you looking at?
Yeah, count how many fingers he's got when he waves. Do that again. Yeah. Let's see how many fingers he has.
Yeah, let's look at the fingers. Yeah, what is this? Look at his thumb. It's abnormal.
Yeah, look how long that thumb is. That is ridiculous. Come on, man.
I mean, guys, give us a thumbs up the size of this guy's thumb here over on YouTube, please. I mean, if this guy gives his thumbs up must be worth like 50 likes. Oh, my goodness. Let's play one more time. Look. Right. I said they didn't do bad with the fingers. So the way the hand comes out.
There's the right number of fingers, but
the hand comes out like. That's just weird. We're still far from.
That's weird.
Watch the hand. Watch the hand come out of the pocket. It just flies out. You saw that? It just flies out of the jeans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not even. It's weird stuff.
It materializes through his pants.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
All right, Nvidia. Let's go for the red leather jacket, baby. Let's get us up there. Andrew's long on this as well, so he's gonna make. That's gonna be the trade of the day for him. That's gotta be the trade of the day. That's that's a big time trade there.
Well, I'm trying to find a trade for myself here. I am a little. I mean, your Nvidia trade is not bad. It did look good. I agreed with you, but it's your trade, not mine. So, but I maybe should have jumped in with you on there.
5 minute look good. We're hesitating here, so I'm inclined. I'm up 50 cents already, so I don't want to be greedy.
But you gotta look at what was your risk.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I want to get to at least 1 R because I was risking about 60 cents here. I want to get to at least 1 R. You know,
Yeah.
okay, now we're
that
getting
makes
into,
sense.
yeah. So yeah, I don't want to cut it too short here.
I think it looks good. You never know on this, but it looks good here. Give it a
Yeah, yeah,
chance to pop.
must sit on it here and see what it does. So Peter, I was driving over the weekend. I went to Brooklyn to see a friend. My goodness, Brooklyn is where it's at. It's the best view from Manhattan. You know, off Manhattan is in Brooklyn, and Queens, that area. And I remember going to Astoria, Queen. I went through the Queensbridge, over the Queensbridge, and this is exit. That back in the days, man, when you went to that exit, and I was like probably 13, you could see every all of Queens, all of Brooklyn, and there was only one big building. It was a Citibank building, the only big building
Carlos.
in Queens. Yeah, here it is, baby.
Get ready for a partial here.
Partial here, friends. I'm watching this some
Beautiful.
more. We're at 1 hour now, plus 1 hour, so that's good. And the only building, if you're from Queens, you remember the only big building was the Citibank building, the only big one. Now, when I go through there, you can't see anything. There's high-risers everywhere, residential. I mean, Brooklyn has gone insane, man. It's just wow. So if you're from the area, you could see like the change over the last 20 years. It went from a place where you wanted to do nothing with to, if you live in Brooklyn, you're hip, you're crushing it, you're modern. It's just wild, man, to see that change like that. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. All right, partial on Nvidia here, friends. Let's see if we can get moving higher. Nav, take care. Have a great day. If you have to go, have a good one. Hit that thumbs up, guys. 342. We still need 60 for our payout of oh, we got 400. Never mind. We got 400. Thank you, guys. I didn't refresh. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. All right, so and then we have Andrew next coming in a few minutes here, and then we have Thor right after that. And today's not Wednesday, but Wednesday, tomorrow we have Dr. V. I think he has Lenny today.
Oh yeah?
I think he has I think he has Lenny today. His meetup turned out well, guys. It's a nice little group there. Look at that. It's a nice little team there, man. It's nice. I know this guy here next to him. The guy next to Thor. I saw him in a meetup. I forget their names. I know the faces. But yeah, look, Tom Cruise in the back there at the end of the table. Tom Cruise, right? He got the Tom Cruise hair.
He does.
That's good, man. Yeah, he does. Got the Tom Cruise look, man. I don't think we met him, but Dr. V in the house there between the two ladies here. Yeah, nice, good-looking group, man. Hopefully, you guys had a great time. He's gonna be doing one in New York, so.
And I hope all of them are traders. Because it's good to see the women trading as well. Women on average actually make better traders than men. So
they're more disciplined, mature. There's no question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No
Again, that's a generalization, but it's true, and it's in our experience as well with the people that take the boot camp, for example, at Peak Capital, typically show more discipline, willing to follow the rules, and therefore tend to accelerate their trading maturity a lot faster. So.
Yeah.
It is a generalization, of course, but.
All right.
All right. Let's see if Nvidia can get over 172.
Yeah, look at Nvidia here. See if we can get that move. Would be nice.
Oh, we're going. We're getting our friends over. Andrew and Brian are coming over to join us.
Nice. Let me make sure if Andrew connects now automatically, because after.
And then there was you. Well,
all right.
It's never too late, Janine. It's always time to
over.
Not saying it's easy.
Awesome. Yeah, not easy. Good morning.
Hey guys,
here's someone. Hey Andrew. Good morning.
Good morning. There's no echo. Well, yeah.
Way to turn around your morning, Andrew. Well done.
Seriously,
Good
man.
Uh,
trading there.
it was horrible. I'm still red for the day because I lost really
Oh,
bad.
really?
And
Oh,
but yeah, I still lost money, but it was a big loss that I recovered. So uh,
yeah. Oh, I thought you were green after because your
Oh, me
Nvidia trade
too.
was fantastic. I know we had a rough start, but
no, the loss on Tesla was way too big, so I recovered
okay.
the losses. I'm a little bit red. So what you see here, my trade guys, so a couple of really bad losses at the open on Tesla, and eventually we got this double bottom from it. And as you see, the double bottom. So, we found this double bottom, went long here, the entry is here. And then on the way up, it was just really bullish, higher 5 minute higher high, higher low. We added multiple times, and now we're gonna go into 172.20. Sorry, that's Benzinga breaking news on trading terminal. Let me stop that. Okay, so I'll stop that.
Andrew, you
So
want to
Benzinga
share your camera with us on Zoom so we can see it?
once now.
I don't see it yet. Yeah.
All right, sorry about that. There you
All
go.
right, there we
Yes.
go. Excellent.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. So as you see here, um, NVDA is good popping up too, partially a little bit of NVDA here, 172.09. That's
Beauty.
great. Wow, NVIDIA is breaking all-time high. AMD is also going high too, but I'm out of AMD. So how was your trading at the YouTube? I know, Carlos, you went long on Tesla. I went long on Tesla. Both got stopped out.
Oh yeah, man, it looked good and it just failed on us. But Nvidia turned out pretty good. So I'm long Nvidia now. It just took another partial, and that's gonna be the
Yeah,
trade of the day for me, man. So, but yeah, we both. I saw that in Tesla, man. Played us lovely. So,
yeah,
ah,
that
yeah,
like we really had issues with Tesla.
yeah, man,
So
yeah.
any question about the trades that we did, guys? Like I honestly really should have stopped trading in the first, 5 minutes. Like I'm just keep getting stopped out on that. AMD was nice. We did the, open range breakout on AMD, but I got out of it because it was kind of extended. And then I had another trade on AMD here, then we made some money on that. Um, so AMD was two trade for me. So the 1 minute open range breakout was amazing. I didn't get it. So I chased it here. I got out, but it did run up to 158. And then it came back up. I went long again and we made some money here. So AMD was profitable. But the chop fest bad trading was Tesla. Like every time that we tried to get this breakout 3 times, and I got stopped out, multiple times. So this was one loss. This was another loss. Paris shorted Tesla right at the top. So Paris is trading order flow based on order flow. So that was a really great trading from Paris. Actually, I didn't have any respect for Paris, but this short, I gained. He gained my respect. Really, that was a really nice respect. uh, he did a really nice drop on that.
Bless you, Brian.
Thank you.
Brian is having a bad day. He lost. He's quiet today. No doodly doodly.
Made a decent amount of money back on by when I tried to long Tesla at the open. Didn't work out, so I've shorted it a few times, and just out of it now again. So clawing my way back. The SPY is continuing to sell off. We're going to retest PDC yet again. It's the third time, maybe. Third time we may actually lose it.
Yeah, it's never good to question Paris. He tends to know what he's doing here. Especially on Tesla. You know he loves it, right?
Yeah, he loves Tesla. Honestly, it was really garbage price action today, Tesla. And I kind of knew because he wasn't gapping up or down. Like when the stocks start gapping up and down, like Nvidia and AMD, 5-6%, there's fundamental news on them. They're tradable. But Tesla was gapping up like 0.5%. Like it's just normal chop fest. AMD was great. SMCI was great. MP was great. MPs just keep running up. This rare earth metal
Yeah,
company just hits the scanner all the time. Benzinga is announcing it all the time. I announced it when it was 55. Now it's trading at 61. That's
yeah,
really nice. That was a great trading day. I messed
I
up
know.
this Tesla.
Oh, it's just a matter of what stocks you choose to take, choose to watch. and focus on. Turned out Tesla wasn't the best. I thought it looked fairly promising for a long going into the open. It was strong. Looked like there were buyers. I think SPY is going to go red on the day.
Yeah, SPY is really selling off. It cannot hold it. NVDA also bounced back. So I'm mostly out of NVDA. So my day is, kind of red. So as I show you here, I had a huge loss on Tesla. I had multiple losses on Tesla. I had a big win on NVIDIA. I'm kind of partially green. So 1 minute, Musa is asking why you're using 1 minute opening range and not 15-minute opening range breakout. It's my style that I go into a lower time frame, and it's not great. Like I've been really reviewing my trades, and I'm getting stopped out a lot in the first 5 minutes. So it's better to wait for a little longer time frame. You are got to be a little bit more patient because you have to wait for the pullbacks and better entry. Like if I was not trading NVDA at all today, like let's go to the 5 minute chart. Like if I was not trading on NVDA, this bullish engulfing would have been super nice. And that one trade enough would have been for me to make money. But just impatience that I have in life. Like I have ADHD, and just my life is, my style of life is always just go, 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 go. And I'm not good. I'm not really proud of that. But Eamon, for example, he's trading based on the longer time frame. He did a really nice TQQ trade. He mentioned that in the chat room as well. So we all made joke about it. So I asked him at before 10 that what are you looking for? He said, I'm looking for a reversal on TQQ. And then boom, he caught this one on TQQ. So
Tesla
Eamon has,
drop.
Eamon has this course, and he's also writing a book actually on multiple time frame analysis. Tesla dropped.
That should be interesting. Yeah, SPY, it does continue to look a little weak here. I didn't even hear what were the CPI numbers.
CPI was pretty much on target, Brian. No big change. It's estimated at 0.3% growth. It came out at 0.3%. The core was off by, I think, a tenth. And then the year to date was, I think, slightly better than expected. But we're talking a tenth of a percent.
Okay.
So not much variability.
Yeah. And the banks, JPM and Wells Fargo.
Well, they all, as expected, they all beat their numbers, delivered more revenue and better bottom line profitability. A couple of different little statements. The CEO of JPMorgan came out and said he still sees strong headwinds and problems with tariffs and international pricing. On Wells Fargo, there was concern over their interest income, which is a little lower than expected, but they still made more money overall than anticipated. So. Some of them were gapping down, I noticed at the open. I noticed JP Morgan and Wells Fargo are still red this morning, despite delivering record profits. So,
Yeah.
Citigroup
Here we
is
go on
not doing much.
here we go on the SPY. We're dropping. Qs are dropping too, down to low of day. I did a quick scalp on SPX options, which are kind of scary, but felt pretty confident on that trade. You know, man, this MP is just not. There's just not stopping.
Yeah, they really built on their good news with this. After the Department of Defense deal they had last week, and this week the deal they've got with investment, sorry, from Apple. So
Yeah,
quite, they're breaking in the bucks in the short term.
in the short term, I don't think they don't have any income, do they?
Uh,
Is it one of those
yeah, they're an
non-income company?
existing. I think so. Yeah, they have an existing mine at least. I don't know how many, but I know they have at least one, and
Yeah,
they're
they only
supposed to
have
be building out their
215
facilities.
million in sales.
Yeah. Well, they have the confidence of some of the right people, anyways.
Yeah, I
Right
think the
or wrong.
problem is the whole rare earth thing is, it's not just the mining. I mean, you can find a deposit with rare earth minerals in it,
Right.
then you got to mill it and upgrade to get the oxides to get
Yeah.
your high purity ore, and then you've got to refine that ore. And I think the
Correct.
biggest challenge is refining. I don't think there's uh,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any refiners in North America. I think it's all in Asia right now,
Yeah.
anyway.
It would make sense because traditionally the problem has been the net cost, right? Like China's been able to
Yeah,
sell their minerals at a cost that you just can't compete with in North America. So they haven't built out the facilities to date because, they're just getting underpriced. So so we'll have to see where this all goes. Again, this investment will help because it'll
yeah,
help MP build facilities that they couldn't otherwise afford. But you're right, there's still a lot of long-term concerns as to whether they can do that and do that at a profitable price. You can't only lose money for so
right.
long before somebody pulls the plug
Yeah,
on you. Yeah, and mining. Yeah, Zephy, you're saying that U.S. logistics is pretty bad, and that RP, you're saying that U.S. doesn't have the tech anymore to distill heavy metals. I don't know. I mean, this is not an area of expertise
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
That would make sense, though, especially being that a lot of that stuff has been done offshore because it's just been cheaper, right, for the U.S. economy to do it offshore.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and to your point out, the problem is the reinvestment. Typically, that's a multi-decade type investment cycle, right? Because you have to,
yeah,
not only do you have to build the facilities, but you need the expertise to build the facilities. Then you have to develop the competency to actually run and manage them. And, while the world is also moving advancing its capabilities. So, yeah,
yeah,
it's not an easy thing to fix by any stretch.
yeah. I know. I visited a smelter a few times up in south eastern BC. It was a
Have
lead
you?
zinc smelter, but they also had some rare earth elements. I think it was beryllium, maybe,
Hmm.
and but they had
Well, that
some
would make
capacity
sense.
to do some weird stuff as well
Yeah,
that was in
because
their
often,
ore.
right, often the rare earth stuff comes as almost a byproduct of the core thing you're going after, right? So
Yeah,
I know that when
I
I
think the
used to work with
MPs.
the big miners, go ahead, guys. Let's see, MP is might be topping here, but I'm not going to bet on that. That's for sure. Not with the
No,
day it's having. I've made that mistake before. Carlos and I are still reeling from the mistake we made on that last week. So we're not falling for it
yeah,
again.
Right.
You definitely don't
Sorry,
want to be
guys.
shorting this.
Shorting NVDA,
No, talking about AMP.
MP. Oh man, it just keeps going higher. Wow.
Yeah.
This is just the position taking. People are buying into MP materials. Yeah.
Rare earth, rare earth stuff. Hot commodity now. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk?
All right. So rare earth metal refining.
Are you back in the green?
I'm not, no, but a small loss. It's only $3,000
Okay.
loss. Um,
Well, that's
I
not
just
bad.
don't, no, that's not bad. I don't want to be too aggressive because, usually the biggest losses in your equity curve comes from the days that you become so aggressive to make the losses back, and then just keeps averaging. Your loss gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So as I mentioned, I had a really big loss on Tesla. It was actually 3, 4 trades on it, and then Nvidia was really nice. So I don't really want to push anything on that. And this Tesla short was a hotkey issue, so I got short Tesla for some reason. Um,
That would have worked out okay if you'd stuck with it.
I know. Well, you never know.
The SPY is, yeah, I know. The SPY is continuing to leak off here, downtrending.
Yeah, and the bonds are selling off too. TLT is down again. The yields are rising. Jay Powell doesn't want to
Yields
bring
are
the
up.
rate lower.
Uh,
He's very serious.
Still odds for a rate cut July 30th are almost zero,
Oh, really?
2.6%.
Really?
For
Let's see
July,
here.
Yeah, yeah, no rate cut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. 97.4% estimate that there'll be no change.
Right.
Hmm.
When you go to September, it's a different story. Got over 50%, 51.8, 53.8, sorry, 53.8 odd of at least one rate cut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So counting
Obvious.
on September if Powell is still in charge. Wow, Tesla's another leg lower here. Same with the SPY.
nice. So after this, Paris is gonna come and talk about his trade on Tesla probably because he did a really nice trade on Tesla, and Thor is coming obviously talking about his pivot point strategy trading and cams that he has. Um, the market seems that is rolling over slowly. Market obviously is on the short term is super overbought. The pullback to moving averages are kind of normal. Um,
Oh, we've gone red on the SPY, red on IWM, red on the Dow. The only index that's hanging on to green right now is the Qs, and they're looking like they're heading south too. Hmm.
So the moving
So the
averages,
dollar,
Farhad is asking, is 9 and 20 moving average are very standard, exponential, and then 50 and 200 simple moving average. It's very standard for traders to use two exponential moving average and two simple moving average. The exponential ones are usually the ratio of 1 to 2, like 7, 15, 9, 20, 9, 18, or something like that. To show you the short-term momentum, and the long-term 200 is very standard, 200 simple moving average, and 50 and 100 people sometimes use 50, but it's really up to you. But the 200 simple moving average is very, very standard, very common. You must have it. I use 9 and 20 exponential moving average and 50 and 200 simple moving average. And it doesn't matter on daily or on 1 minute, they're calculated based on the number of the candlesticks before. So in any time frame, the moving averages stay the same. No, exponential for the higher time frames are not recommended, because when you're using exponential, you're giving more weight to the current price. So they're more sensitive to the price, but they also have bigger whipsaw. When you're going to 200, you want to zoom out and you want to look at the longer time frame. You really don't want to have a lot of sensitivity to the price, because you're looking at a bigger time frame. All right, NVIDIA is coming back down, so I'm going to get out of my NVIDIA, guys. Finishing the day. NVIDIA also, I mean, it's, again, a $4 trillion company is popping up like that. He can't continue going higher like a penny a stock. Avi is back from traveling,
yeah.
so he's going to go to the options 0DT trading in the webinar room, guys. Avi has really good programs for 0DT trading, which is very, very nice. Can be very profitable, but also very difficult because you have to manage the risk properly. So Avi is having these sessions at 11 a.m. in the webinar room. And his strategy is pretty simple. Like, he's using this Avi entry levels. That's the higher pre-market, low of the pre-market. And based on that distance, you can create these levels for the breakouts, which is very similar to the paper that we published with Carlo Zaratini, with the breakout volatility bands of SPY, that you can actually make really good money on that. So if you are interested in momentum trading on S&P 500 and options and SPX calls, you can learn from Avi. Paris and Gary are coming in the chat room. Gary is trading based on Fibonacci. Paris is trading order flow. And Thor is coming on YouTube at 11 to talk about his style of trading, which is based on CAM and pivot points.
Okay. Yeah, I've been shorting Tesla a couple times, worked out quite well. I'm not short now, unfortunately, but it still has some sellers today for sure. What does the daily look like on Tesla? It's coming down to S3, which is 313.29. So look for a bit of a bounce there. And that's very close to yesterday's low. Yeah, we're getting a lot of stuff rolling over here as SPY continues to drop. MP finally rolled over.
Finally, yeah, finally pull back on MP. Thor, I see you're ready to jump. Where are you, sir?
I am very short M&Q right now, so I got short on the pullback up to near the open price, and I am in this thing, and we're gonna see what happens now. See if we can get ourselves a bit of a drop.
Where are you? It looks like you're in the bathroom or something.
I'm in the Orlando airport.
Oh.
So I'm actually not traveling anywhere, but I dropped a friend off at the airport this morning, and I didn't have enough time to get from Orlando back to St. Augustine, so I just found a desk in the middle of the airport and started trading. I mean, that's one of the most amazing things about this lifestyle is that you literally can just work from anywhere with a computer and a couple of screens, you know? So I'm just sat up next to the food court right now on airport Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, short NQ talking with you guys and streaming. It's amazing.
So they don't see you. Carlos,
Perfect.
put Thor back in YouTube. I'm gonna stop my screen so because they don't I can see you, but people don't see you. So
You
thanks,
can,
guys. You're
yeah, you can
look
see him.
at that.
Look,
Yeah.
you can see here,
Today,
like I'm just in
hey,
the food court,
you can, yeah,
like
you
in a
can go over
mall,
and have a
basically.
taco. Yeah, you can
You
grab a
actually want to
taco
run your
or
YouTube
whatever.
show from the food court?
Yeah, I'm
Is
doing it
that
right here. And we're
oh,
just doing this, man. Let's go. I got an extra monitor. Look, you can see here, I got an extra monitor set up over here.
all
Like I'm
right?
good
I
to go.
love this. I love this. I usually skip this kind of trade days, but
No, I'm live in a trade right now. I hit an early one today. I did peak capital from here earlier today. We had a lot of fun. We were calling trades and having a blast, man.
awesome. Thank you. All right, guys.
Great.
I'm signing off. Thanks, guys. It was a great trading day. I lost money, but it was a great trading
Yeah.
day. And see you tonight in the webinar, guys. Ciao, ciao.
See
Bye
you,
for
boss.
now.
So
See you,
what's
Thor.
up, YouTube? Hey, see you, Brian. So what's up, YouTube? So we're getting transitioned and switching over, and then I'll show you guys and gals my screen here and what I'm up to. So I had a really good. I actually took a long on MES yesterday when it opened at 6 p.m. and I actually hit a full target move on that trade. And then I ended up getting short on it here after the open because we just started. The open was a clean distribution at the open, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It was very. I thought today was a straight sell right out of the open for me on the market. So as soon as I can see my screens up, then I'll kind of show you because I don't think you guys can see my screen yet. I think it's just black. So I'll give you a minute and then I'll show you what I'm up to here. How is everyone out in YouTube's trading days, by the way?
Hey Thor, so your screen, it says you're sharing, but I don't see nothing coming across yet. So maybe you want to try to just refresh
Let me
it.
stop it and let me do
Yeah.
it again. There we go. I can see it now. Coming through my little side thing over here. All right. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yep, we got it.
So what happened at the open? Let's get into let's shoots and ladders this thing a little bit, right? That's what kind of our big theme was when we were reading volume VPA, right? We don't need to make this crazy. It's just called shoots and ladders. So anybody looking at this opening candle here, we're starting to squeeze a little bit back into this order block. If you're looking at the opening candle here, what does that opening candle really tell you about the NQ? For me, it was stuffed, right? I would imagine. It doesn't look. No, my Wi-Fi is not having an issue, so I don't think you guys should have any issues from my end of things. But let me know if you can't see things now because I can see it, so you should be able to see it. But everyone, thumbs up if you can see. Are you good? Are you seeing the feed? If so, throw me a thumbs up. All right, so we got someone that can see. Yeah, we've got people that are seeing it. Okay, so if you can't see it, you may want to refresh your YouTube feed, but make sure you come back, please. Don't go anywhere. I got good stuff to show you. So you can see right here at the opening, we were hit with quite a bit of, as we bought, the market maker offloaded quite into that. The specialist algorithm offloaded, and we immediately started selling down. As we reoffered, anytime we reoffered, our volume would drop. Anytime we tried to buy and move, our volume would drop. So it really looked like it was going to be a sell to me. So I tried a short here, but then it came back up and I cut the short because my stop was run a little wide. So I took that profit and it was like maybe worth like $100. And then I reshorted there with the better stop distance. And now I'm in here. So now that since we started trending again, right, I'm not going to take a loss on this one. So again, I've got my stop sitting in here. It shouldn't come back up above this level here. So if it comes back up and rebuys through here, then I'm just not into it anymore. It's just too choppy. So for now, I'm sitting in here. Now I'd like to make probably around, ideally like 800 to $1,000 on this position, right? So I'm really I really want to see. I think because we have a wide higher range, which is why I'm targeting R4 today for a short, not a long, right? Because we're on a wide range. On a wide range, we should close at value. So we should come back to previous day's close, right? So I would expect us to return to previous day's close, maybe even yesterday close, and that puts our ATR low down around 22,921, and that's really where I would like to go. So if I can get around 800 or a grand out of this thing around, which should probably take me to around pre-market low, I think that'd be a really good spot to get out of this. So Charles, the futures market is open from 6 p.m. to 5 p.m., right? 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day except for Sunday, right? So it's 23/7 minus a day. Right. So Sundays we open. So Friday we close at 5 p.m. and then we're closed the whole day Saturday. And then on Sunday, sorry, Saturday is the close day. I think I said Sunday. Saturday is the close day. And then on Sunday, we reopen at 6 p.m. So we go from 5 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. And that's our maintenance windows. Yep. Eastern Standard. So, and that's our maintenance window. So in trading view, GP, the same way I do regularly. It executes for futures. I don't trade equities through this. So for futures, it does it. Oh, I'm sitting in a very uncomfortable wooden chair right now. For the record, if you people don't think I like you, and you heard what Andrew said. I could have just said, "Hey, I'm at a YouTube today thing. At the airport drop. I'm not going to do this." Now look at that. Look at this. I had to drop someone off at the airport today, and I couldn't get back to you in time, so I'm just hanging out from the airport. Look, I'm at a food court right now. Look at this, right? We got our trade going on right now, right? Here's our trade, our screen that we're looking at, right? We're just hanging out in a food court right now. Right? We're just making money, hanging out in a food court, doing our thing, right? That's a good screenshot. Hey, someone get a screenshot. Hey. Yeah, I'm on airport Wi-Fi. Oh, nice, coach. I look flexed, huh? Boom. Let's go. We're as committed to our stay there. Let's go, GP. Let's get some coffee. So I'm on a Mac. So and I'm using a VPN. So I should be okay. I am using a VPN. So and I am on a Mac. So between the two of those, I think I'll be okay. If not, whatever. They can have it. There's more where it came from. I'm just kidding. Don't take it. It's mine. Right? So I was oh God. At Norton. So the ES is neutral range, right? So one of the reasons I focused on Qs today over ES was because Qs had a more definitively readable range, right? ES was a little bit more ambiguous. Now, either way, we were in a higher range, right? Because it's a similar range, but like, so if you look here, right? The ES closed yesterday, or hold on, let me go to ES. Yoink. Let me show you my after hours trade on look at this trade I took on ES. So yesterday, after we reopened, we were at S3. So I did a opening play on ES there. I bought S3, 5 contracts. And then I put my stop down here, and then I hit my You can see here, and then I hit my target. So I came into the office today on my way to the airport, already having hit one full target, because technically it's a today trade, right? I took this after 6 o'clock, so this was a today trade. So in the Bear Bull Traders, behind the paywall in Bear Bull Traders, I absolutely have webinars on how to use the CAM system. The best thing you're gonna get is my book if you haven't gotten it already. But that's probably the better one. But all right. So statistically, look, we set our IB range to the downside today. So do you guys get your news, like the rate cuts being ugly mentioned by the guys earlier? Okay, Jamal. I have to admit something to you, and you may not like this. Hold on. I don't pay attention to the news at all. I think this whole thing is manipulated. I think it's junk. I don't think the news gives you any idea or what direction anything's ever going to go in. I think it's baked into the cake. I already think they know what they want to do. I think they're all waiting for it. I just think they're waiting for the volume to come in on it. And then they're just going to do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? Use them. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I think it's crap. You know what I mean? I think it's volume and price action. You know what I mean? Old school. How to deliver more, do it. You know what I mean? It's not like that. We got to pay attention to where the demand is, and we got to follow the volume, and we got to take the trades. But we don't want to we don't want to get involved in that, because the thing I feel like with news stuff is you're going to get biased. You know what I mean? News gives you, news creates a bias inside of you. You know what I mean? We're just now, if you're investing, now we're talking a different story, right? If you really want to try and believe in something, like because there's a company and that company pays you a dividend, you know what I mean? And stuff like that, maybe, right? But maybe not. You know what I mean? The more I've been around this market, and I've been around for a bit now, you know what I mean? The more I realize that this stuff is crazy. Like, I use a trading system that automatically generates lines every single day, and they work to the tick almost every single day, right? How is that possible in a news-driven environment? You know what I mean? Who writes the news? Who says the news? What is the news? Who interprets the news? Right? Right now we're rallying a bit. Our order book really leaned out to the downside on NQ, so we are getting a bit of a squeeze here. So I still like my positioning a lot on this one. So we're just going to keep this one on. If this goes up and takes me out, I'll just take a little bit of money again. But I really think if we sell back off of this block that must be right here, it could be a really lovely move to the downside today. So let's see. Price isn't falling due to aggressive selling, but rather because buyers are losing interest on volume is lower. Right. So exactly, so far. So when you're thinking about things, right, think of it this way, right? If someone is buying and the price isn't going up, that's because someone else is selling, right? So market makers and specialists carry vast inventories. Think about it as like a used car salesman, right? Let's say a used car salesman, while the car market is down, and goes and buys a whole lot of market and then fills up his lot full of cars. Right. Let's say he has like enough space for 2,000 cars. He's got a really big lot, right? He's like one of those big Jack Hanman kind of guys, right? So now he's got all these used cars and he bought them all cheap. Well, now let's say due to inflation, the value of new cars or the cost of new cars goes through the roof, right? Kind of, this has happened, right? So because of that, the value of used cars subsequently increases substantially, even though the cars themselves have not been upgraded, touched, or changed in any fashion, right? So now the used car salesman is in a unique position. The used car salesman can do what? What can the used car salesman, help me out, people, interact with me. What can the used car salesman do at this point now? What can he offer to the market that he couldn't have offered before? He can offer fair pricing, right? Exactly. He can offer a discount, right? The cars are at premium and he bought at discount. So he can offer value and people will buy value, or just a little discount, slightly lower premium, right? So people will be willing to buy at slightly lower prices, right? So the market doesn't stop going up because we run out of sellers. There's always going to be sellers willing to sell higher, right? The market tops because we run out of interested buyers at a particular level. And then those who are holding the inventory can sell and then offer a fairer price on the buy side, right? Then as we go lower, more folks that have been holding start to sell. And now you have an inundation of selling at an area of premium. This is what returns us to discount. We will continue going down indefinitely until we run out of sellers, right? There's always people that are willing to buy lower. But if there's no one willing to sell, we can't go lower. That is what is wrong with the market right now. The market is at an extreme area of premium, but no one yet has been convinced that it is in fact time to sell, right? That correction has not yet begun, right? But are we at an area where it's smart to buy? If you're a long-term investor, certainly not. And as a short-term investor, I would also likely say certainly not, right? Because we are sitting at an extreme, right? We're at discount for bears, right? But now we can get squeezed because we have an extreme amount of gamma right now, right? It's very, very easy for the market to move up right now, right? Because there's a lot of gamma right now. As we're making new highs, right, we have options expirations that are hitting and we're having to cover calls, right? That is squeezing the market. And it's so there's a lot of what they call buying, and they're seeing a lot of that buying is going back into retail, right? Because you're getting these covers, right? And that is forcing buying as the options hedges are forced to cover, right? So this is why we keep making all-time highs, because we're not getting enough selling. There's not enough on the put. There's not enough on the bid yet. We're not going down. So the market is waiting for something. And I'm actually quite surprised. I actually kind of thought the recent tariff news with Canada might have been enough, along with some of the Fed stuff that's been going on, some interest rate stuff. I thought maybe this could have been enough. You know, we had a big oil issue overseas. So far, nothing that we are doing right now is managing to shake this market's confidence in its ability to just hold. So until we get more selling, right? Remember the order book. Whenever you're playing the order book, over time with volume, price moves to size, right? Right. Over time with volume, price moves to size. We're missing sell volume. There's just not enough yet, right? So is there buying? Also not really enough, but it is enough to continue to move us high, apparently. So like I said, I'm short today because I love the idea of being short today, but I don't have a ton of conviction in this positioning because NQ is squeezing every single day and making new highs. But I'm going to continue hitting it like this over and over and over again. And trust me, it's going to work in the next couple of days. And we'll be sitting in here talking about it. And I'm going to show you this really big, like 1K to 2K hit that I'm going to make on an NQ when it finally works. And I can absorb a whole lot of 1R wins and a whole lot of 1R losses and just wash that for my big day that's going to come in. And I will have a really big day here. And I'm going to hit one of these across 4 accounts and get a big drop. And it's going to be fun. But we're patient till then, right? Deganot. So I'm gonna also comment on this one. The executions and trading view compared to DOS are a joke, right? DOS Trader Pro is hands down a better execution platform than TradingView. Now I trade futures, and I only trade 4 or 5 contracts to maybe at most 10 contracts of futures, right? So I don't need the execution speed, right? I'm a range trader. I do long-term holds. I hold positions for 2 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours. I mean, I've held a futures position from 8:30 in the morning till 5:30 in the evening. You know what I mean? Any longer, and it'd be a swing trade. You know what I mean? So I don't really Replicanto GP. I don't really require um, that kind of execution speed, right? But if you are trading equities and you are trading 1,500 shares or 800 shares or 1,000 shares or 500 shares, and you want to get those in and out of the market quickly, you're going to need something more like DOS Trader Pro, right? My pleasure. You're going to need something more like that. And the reason why is because of not just the platform itself, but actually the gateway the platform provides, right? DAS. I call it DOS because I'm country. For some reason, I should call it DAS, right? Because it's direct access software, right? The direct access part is the big key to using DAS, right? When you're using DAS, you're talking to Citadel, right? So you're directly tied in straight through fiber, and you're going straight in from hub right into the backbone of Citadel, right? So that smart routing and those quick order routings that it's picking, you're hitting one of the biggest, baddest brokers or sorry, market makers, specialist algorithms on the planet, right? And that's why when you're playing with DOS, you're playing with the best. You know what I mean? It's by far the best and fastest executing platform available. Now, that being said, DOS is kind of like driving Indy 500 versus taking a luxury road trip, right? Or like maybe like riding, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're using DAS, right? It's more like having a Formula One racing car, right? You don't have the analytics. You're not going to get a lot of the like bells and whistles that you get with Thinkorswim, TV, Sierra charts, right? There's tons of platforms that, because they're not as hardcore on the execution side, they've had to focus on the analytical side, right? And they're more focused towards longer term players, right? So DAS is specifically tailored and geared towards high frequency, high share volume, quick entry, quick exit, right? Which is why so many of the major brokers and hedges use DAS, right? Velocity Brokers and their hedge uses DAS. I mean, I know so many different ones that are using a version of DAS, right? It's their own proprietary version. But yes, all my futures positions are always closed before 5 p.m. I do not swing. I'll close them and then reopen them at 6 p.m. if it looks good when we reopen when I have a call. Okay, hold on. All right, this might be a dumb question. I'm trying to understand this, but why, if I buy and selling and I have a -2 in P&L, is this because of fees? Okay, there's 2 reasons. So first question, 1980977, which I feel like I'm talking to like a member of the Borg Collective. So is your name perhaps Locutus? I think 19 of 97 or something like that. No. So the question first, 1980977, are you using market orders? Or are you using limit orders? Well, we might get stopped out of this one. I'm waiting to see if 1980, what do you do? Are you using market orders or limit orders? All right. So not getting the response as quickly as I want, so I'll just hit both. Right. So if you're using market orders, part of the reason you may be down money is actually due to the market order. Right. So when you fire a market order, you get filled at the above the bid or above the ask, or above the ask or below the bid. Right. So if you're throwing a market order into the market, this could be an issue of why you're starting off down money. If you're doing small share size, then you're, let's say your risk is, $50 or something like that. So you're only taking a few shares on something like a Tesla or something like that, or like one share or two shares, right? Then when you get in, you're going and you're using a market order, you're going to get filled. Is there anyone in here who wants me to take a moment to explain why that happens in more depth? If not, I'll just keep it light. So I'll go a little more deep if someone's okay. So whenever you, let's start from the beginning, basically. All right. What we have is we have an offer. So when we have an offer, think of it like the algorithm is holding, the market maker's algorithm is holding its hand out to you and it's offering, right? Now, if someone goes to buy, they buy using a market order, then what the algorithm is going to do, if it doesn't want to obviously absorb that order in some fashion, the algorithm is going to go to the book, right? So the algorithm is here and the price is here. I can't draw on the screen very well right now because of my laptop, so just use my picture. So the order is here, right? The ask is here. So let's say you're going long. When you buy, you're going to buy, but because you want to buy now, you're going to pay premium, right? So you're going to hit buy, but because it's a market order, the algorithm is going to fill you at the ask price, right? So you're going to automatically pay more than what it's worth right out of the gate, right? So as soon as then the price pops up, they fill that order, right? And then you're left at a negative deficit, right? Because you bought on market, you paid premium, right? So as the price stays down, you paid higher for it. So until it comes back to the price you paid for it. So you actually have an issue because you paid higher than the average cost for it. So you're down a little bit, right? And I think that's more likely the reason you're down than comps, right? So commissions are most often, depending on which platform you have, your commissions are normally calculated on the back end, not the front end. There are a couple of platforms that when you get in, will go ahead and calculate in your commissions, but you have to normally configure that. So in most instances, I would say if you're really unaware of why, and you're just starting down negative a couple bucks, it's probably because you're trading with really small share size and you're using market orders, which is an expectation when you're using market orders, by the way, right? This is why we use market +5 and market -5, right? When we're using our hotkey codings, because we don't want to get filled any more than that, right? Imagine if you buy a ticker, you go heavy size and then you realize the spread, right? And so what we're talking about here is the spread, right? The spread is the distance between the bid and the ask. Well, if you go to buy the bid, but then you pay the ask and the spread is 50 cents, right? You could end up incredibly negative in that position, right? Because the price you'll be sitting at, right? Well, let's say it's you're getting filled at $100 and the spread is 25 cents, right? And you take 100 shares. Imagine that, right? You're getting filled and your valuation will be $100, but you will have paid $100.25 for all your shares. So you're automatically going to be negative down, right? 0.05, Yusuf. Thank you for asking. But that's why you're most likely, this is one of the main reasons you need to stay focused on spread. Why do we not trade low floats? Right? What's one of the biggest issues of trading a low float? You have an incredibly low priced ticker in most instances that has an incredibly wide spread, right? You're going to be trading something that's $1 or $2, but it's going to be running a 5 cent to 10 cent spread. right? And this is why it's so volatile. I went ahead and exited that position. So it got too high back up. So I went ahead and took the profit on it. So we'll call that a done. So it's just too wide of a spread, right? In order for us to entertain this whole thing. You know what I mean? So this is what's the main thing. So again, just to finish that off. So the best way to get in and out of positions, ideally, right, is to actually use a limit order. But limit orders are very difficult because limit orders can get leaped, right? There's no guarantee of fill on a limit order, right? So limit orders can get leaped. So you may not get filled, or it may just run away from you and you don't get in. So I actually do think market orders are the best way to get in. You just need to be prepared that when you get in, there's a good chance you're going to be a little bit down right when you get in, but be very, very aware of spread and things like that. All right, so no more of these for me. I'm not going to take any more trades now. So I'm actually going to switch off of my my live account now, so I'm not tempted to take any more trades. So because I don't want to do that anymore, that way I can focus. I want to check if I have a cam play alerts right. Let's look at M2K. I dropped my phone. Right? It just seems like the market's never going to drop ever again. Hilarious. Why you close futures at 5 p.m. and open them at 6 p.m.? Is this because of any gap? So challenge trader, there's a couple reasons behind that. Number one, yes. There is a chance that there is a gap between the two, right? There is an hour of time that goes by while other markets are open, right? So you never really know, right? So for instance, if you're trading like copper, right? Copper's highly influenced by the Asians markets, right? I think China, as of the last time I checked, uses like 80% of the world's copper, right? So you don't want to go to sleep and then, while Asia's still awake, you don't want to be paying attention or not doing something, and then all of a sudden some big, NDX just triggered. Look at that. We're starting to sell again, stinking NQ. Anyway. So I like to go ahead and cut it. Now, the other reason is I use a couple of funded brokers as well, right? Most funded brokers will not let you swing, right? So you actually have to close the position out and then reopen it. Would you, may I ask, in what situation would you prefer to protect profit or just take profit break-even strategy? So Yanni, I prefer not to move to break-even at all. What I find is most often when I move to break even, I just lose positions, but there is a certain amount of retracement because again, I use a couple funded brokers that have trailing thresholds that if it comes back up a certain amount, it's better just to cut it, take the small amount of profit because it looks better on the statistics for the funded broker, and then just get back into the position. Like, just get out of this position on Qs and then get short again, or NQ. So there are possible plays right now on M2K, but not in this configuration. The play was a buy at S3, but we were selling and the order book was bearish, so it just wasn't really a good play. So, and we've already broken our IBR to the downside. So, I mean, shoots and ladders. Doesn't it just feel like we're selling right now? Anytime we start to sell, we go down so easy. Anytime. So I do not read the tape at all, Najmul. I read the order book, and these bubbles represent the market orders that are coming into the book. So I use a combination. Tesla seems to be flushing now towards some large orders. Yeah, I can do that. Man, I knew this thing was going to sell again. See what I mean? It just shoots and ladders. I mean, anytime we sell, it's fast. Anytime we rally, it's long. Like, look, like from even from here, it just, we stuff and then we sell and then we take forever to get all the way back up and then it's just down and then consolidation up, down, down, up, down, up. Anytime we're moving down, we move down so much faster than we go up. And we're still in the selling range. We're under our 4 in a wide range. We should sell from here, not buy from here. This would be an insanely weird space for us to buy from algorithmically. We even have bearish order books right now. So for me, this just feels like a sell. But NQ doesn't give up every single day. Peter Tuchman, all-time highs. VPA, this volume indicator is actually by who does this? It's this one. You can see it. It's HMV, which is heat map volume by this XDE cow guy. Oh, look at the order book on NQ starting to load up a little bit to the downside. We're getting an excess of selling volume as well, combined with an excess of buying. That should be enough to drive this thing. I can't believe how look at how NQ just squeezes, man. This thing is just crazy. When it finally sells, it's going to be so good. But man, what a pain in the butt this ticker's been lately. Ooh, look at that offer. This little offer here got pretty well stuffed. Um, how do you pick the one trade to trade of so many alerts that hits your criterion TV, like flipping a coin or something more complex? So Jasprit, I do think a certain amount of this is experience. Um, really key levels, the king. Um, this one. I think this is an experience one. You know what I mean? I've taken 100,000 trades. You know what I mean? I don't know how many trades I could actually tell you I've taken. I mean, so many trades. I've been in the market for almost a decade. I've been actively trading that market every single day. I rarely ever take a day off from trading, right? So I'm just actively participating every day, and I've and I understand why how this stuff works. I have I'm lucky, that I've been able to gain access to some things that really help me with this process, or at least my understanding of it, right? And then I'm very, very composed as far as how I interact, right? So and that's the whole thing. Look at this thing coming back up, man. It's just wild. Oh, but all right. So the bubbles. Let me tell you about the bubbles here. I want to bring my buddy Nathan back on. I think we call him the Bubble Lord. I want to bring my buddy Nathan back on, and I want to talk about this with him, with you, and I think maybe I'll have him on Friday. If you guys think, I'll try and get him on Friday, and because he can he can really break this down. So basically, what the bubbles are their market orders, right? So what bookmap is, right? Is bookmap is a visual level 2, right? That has historical data, right? That has a tape more or less overlaid on top of it. It's showing you market orders, right? The market orders are the bubbles, right? So if the bubbles are green, and this is using a concept called cumulative volume delta, right? So that means it's taking the buys and then subtracting the sells and giving you a total, right? So if there's more sells than buys, it's a red bubble. If there's more buys than sells, it's a green bubble. The more the imbalance between the two, the bigger the bubble, right? So so if there's a whole lot of buying and not a whole lot of selling, and volume makes the bigger bubble bigger, right? So what we're generically looking for is when we have big bubbles that don't move, or big bubbles that do move, right? Like if we're going down towards big orders, anytime we see a big red bubble, we should be going down. So if we don't see us going down when there's a big red bubble, that means someone's absorbing the price, which means we're probably going to squeeze, right? So like right there, see on this MQ, see how this red bubble came through? Look how we didn't drop. And then so we immediately squeezed afterwards, right? You can tell that someone's absorbing. Anytime we try and sell, someone here is absorbing that selling activity and it's squeezing. So me too, Ben. Oh, this chair. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I got to stretch for a second. Oh, I'm sitting in these chairs are not okay. I need one of those like stadium seats. Like really, Ben, like, could you imagine? Like this would be like the ultimate torture just to make me sit in this chair all day. I bet they do, Blake. Hey, how are you doing? I'm like practically down the road from you. I'm at Orlando Airport right now. So fun hanging out with you, man. Hey, if anyone gets a chance, my buddy Blake here in the room, he's a killer DJ in the Orlando area. He's been in Canada, he's been in Vegas, like performed big venues and all that stuff. Dude actually has stuff on Apple Music and it's really good. So just look up Blake Gerald on Apple Music and he's got like these really cool like meditation tracks, but they have a good vibe to them. So I really like running to them. It's so much fun, like because you can kind of jog and go for a jog, and it's kind of got this like cool, like relaxed vibe going with it. It's really cool. So if anyone's inclined and looking for some good music or something like that, just to vibe with and stuff like that, I highly recommend my boy Blake here. And not just because he came out and hang out with me in St. Augustine and let me sign his book. Right. That's not the reason I'm doing this. I wouldn't, if he sucked, I wouldn't put his music out there, but he doesn't. He's really talented. So I am. Oh, hilarious. Oh, man. Also met his lovely wife too, who is just amazing. So such a like really nice, just soul. It was really nice to meet her. So, oh, we got a link. Nice, Carlos. Coming in hot. So, Hazim, the reason why not the R4 today is because the wide range, right? So when we're looking at ranges, we're talking about the difference between a narrow range and a wide range. This is basically an ATR concept, right? Wide ranges put the extremities of like R4 to S4 too close to ATR high. Right. So we don't want to go long on wide ranges normally, because in order for us to make our targets, we would have to have a price deviation that day. Right. With our ATR, we only really move so much every day. Right. So it's more likely statistically today that we close, because of the wide range, we close back inside of range. Right. So maybe we do break out, but if we break out, it won't go very far and it just comes right back in. Right. So what we want to do is let it get as close to R4 as possible from the underneath and then hit it at R4. If it gets I might hit it again if it gets all the way. I've tried it 2 times already, both netted like a little under an R. So but we've got too much buying coming into the market. It looks like they're really trying to buy up through this block right now on NQ. This is Bookmap is the application here. But they're trying to buy through this block right here. So they may buy this block and then cough and come back down. But if they can't buy this block and they run from it, we should liquidate hard, because whoever's selling this block will likely start selling at the bid as we fall. It could really lower things really aggressively. But we're still so the determination of a narrow range versus a wide range can be accomplished in 2 different ways. Number one is you can actually utilize what's called our CPR comparison. So a CPR comparison is the central pivot range. When you're looking at McCamarilla pivot points, that's the distance between S2 and R2. And then so what you'll do is so imagine this creates a small pivot range. and this is if the pivot ranges are bigger than the previous day. So if you look at yesterday and your pivot range is wider, it's wider, right? If it's narrower, and that's it. Right now, there are times when it's similar. If it's similar, this is a little more complicated. So we have kind of like a what we would call a like an alternate method, which is where you compare the fours, S4 to R4, to the actual ATR. If the S4 to R4 is within near distance to the ATR, then we will consider that to be a wide range. If you look at R4 to S4 and the ATR projections, and so that's like a 14-day look back. We average the highs and lows of the sessions, right? And we generate this, right? So we're going to look at this R4 to S4 range. And if those ATRs are there, right, and they're far away, then we have to go outside to get to this. So that's why narrow ranges are what we would call outside days. So we do narrow range breakouts or crosses. And then on wider range, we're looking for traverses and failures, right? So in this instance today, although we keep offering premium, I do expect at some point in time, MNQ and ES will have a correction today and close likely down by or lower than their previous day's close. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? There's no way to really know what they're going to do today, right? But technically, we can do it. So, my pleasure. So my entry system is very, very easy. It's range based, right? So let me show you, like, if I wanted to short R4 right now, it's going to be hard to draw this because I don't have a drawing tool. Oh, yes, I do. This has a drawing tool, I think, that I can use. Rectangle. All right. So let's say I want to go short here. The short is at R4. So what I would do is take the distance. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and draw this box. Let me fix it. Come on. Work with me here. Come on up. I'm using a Mac on a freaking thing here. Oh, I see what it's doing. Hold on. It's magnet. Thinking magnet. All right, there we go. So that is the distance I would expect. See you, Rogelio. This is the distance I would expect to travel, right? So if I take this box and I cut it in half, and then I cut it in half again, I will get my entry window. I'm going to draw another box for the entry window. It'll be right here. Like that. Right? So I break this in half, this box, and then again a half and a half again. And if I'm going to go short, I want to go short anywhere inside this dark window here. And I want my stop to be anywhere outside of this one. Right? If it goes up and breaks, I'm above R4 now. It's a breakout play or a really ugly wide range play. It's not good. Right? So now once I'm in, so I don't really care about the momentum. So if you've noticed, I do not have VWAP. I do not have a single moving average on my screen. I'm a day trader, not a momentum trader, not a scalper. I day trade, right? I hold long positions and I try and take advantage of the majority of the day's ATR movement, right? I want to capture 70% of the ATR if I can, right? That's my goal, right? So if I'm going short, I'm really don't care what it looks like price wise, right? As long as the order, so I wouldn't go short now because the order book looks a little too strong for me. I think we may do what's called a UTAD, right? Which is called an upward, UTAD is an upward thrust after distribution, right? So basically they're chopping up underneath this large order. They're going to explode through the big order. There will be a giant downside wick and then they'll sell like crazy. Right. So I'm still waiting to see if I'm still waiting for them to basically do this big volume. Like we still haven't really gotten this big volume burst. Right. So we're still waiting for that. So like right now, if it gets any higher than this, I can't take the position anymore. Right. Because it'll be too high. So I'm looking for this volume spike. And then I would like to enter the position somewhere in this box and put my stop above that one. So like if we react to R4 right now and sell and make a new low right here, I could go short on that potentially. I don't have the volume I'd like, but I could go short on that and then throw my stop above here. It doesn't really matter because the reality is it's only wrong once it goes outside of that. But the problem will be this is range trading or using cams as a day trading system. So the good thing is if you wait and get into these positions, you can get in, run a bracket order, and you're done for the day, right? I only normally take 1 or 2 trades a day, right? So once my first trade's on 2 days, it's going to take 30 minutes to an hour before I hit my position. And if I get stopped out, it's no longer a viable position for me to re-enter, right? So I'm done. I just take the loss for the day if that's the thing that needs to be, and then I come back the next day and do it again, right? UTADs, Sean, are ATR, average trading, or sorry, average true range, not average trading range, average true range, right? So there is ADR, which is average daily range. We do not use that. It is ATR, or average true range. The average true range is the calculation between session low and session high, right? So that could be, so like for instance, let's say you had pre-market low and pre-market high, and then you opened, right? If we went straight up, pre-market low would be session low for the entire day. And wherever we went to during the open market, as high as we went, but that also includes after hours, as high as it goes, that's our session high, right? And then over the past, and a 14-day look back. That is quite correct, Coach Ovist. That is quite correct, a 14-day look back. But yes, Sean, UTAD is an ideal entry signal, right? Because what we have basically in a UTAD, right, is this is a volume signal. For those of you who have read Anna Cooling, right, you have this, this is a, they have, what does she call it? A selling or a buying climax is what she refers to the UTAD as, right, as the climax, right? So we have our advancing volume, big up, little down, big up, little down, big up, right? Volume wise, we get up to the large order, we hit the large order, get the big volume. That's our stopping volume. That normally starts the sell, but then we squeeze and reoffer. That volume drops. That's our struggling volume, right? We generically then have a UTAD, which is our climax, and then we start to sell, right? So this is the generic market cycle as Anna Cooling would teach it, right? So that you're going to advance until you stop. You're going to stop, then you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle, then you're going to climax. After you climax, you'll reverse, right? So that's kind of the generic way we do that. I'm not trying to brag at all. Maybe a little bit. I don't know if Bruz is here, but sometimes we're allowed. I mean, come on. Look at the wick. Even if we do buy up and break out from there, the obvious significance of this level is apparent, right? So but now that you zoom in, you can tell that this is a very large entry window, right? So for all of you momentum traders who use much smaller charting, right? I'm talking about a massive entry window, right? With a massive stop distance. And I know it feels really big, but that's because you're on a 1 minute chart. Right now, I still like using 1 minute charts. I just zoom them out. Right? I go like this and look at it like this. But trust me, there's a lot of space right there to make decisions. I take pre-market trades. I would say they probably make up 10% or less of my trades, Dalton. But I only do them if TV calls a play in the pre-market and there's like news or something and the volume looks apparent. Google is likely a good short even without me looking at it. The market's starting to roll over again, so there's a pretty solid chance Google's going to sell if the market does. But let's look at it. Okay, interesting. Let's look at it. Let's look at its book real quick. Meta's a tough one for me. I've with its price and spread, I've really torture chair with its price and spread. My back is starting to hurt. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I'm loading Google's book here. I'm on airport Wi-Fi, so stay with me. All right. So real quick before I go through this trade, just remember everybody, I I'm not even traveling today. I just had to drop friends off at the airport. And because I love you so much, I sat here in the food court for a couple of hours on a stinking murder chair, right? Trading through an airport with an extra screen, right? So if you can at least throw a brother a like here and a little share action or something like that. I mean, come on. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? But I do want to illustrate this moment for everybody. Right. Exactly. They do this in the bird shares, right? Thank you so much. But think about it this way. And this is what I really want to say about this, right? Think about this as an occupation, right? Your kids have a thing going on, right? Your spouse suddenly has something change with their work, so you got to like change your schedule a little bit. You got to run your mom to the airport. Anything that you're up to or anything that you've got going on. Thank you, Yen. I appreciate you. Everything that you've got going on, you know what I mean? You have an occupation and a way to potentially generate additional income or your income entirely. And you can just do that. You know what I mean? At whenever you want to. If you need to take the day off, you can. But if you don't want to, you could just sit down at a Starbucks, right? And have at it. It's pretty freaking cool. All right, so now that Google's book finally loaded, let's take a look at it and see what we get. Google for me right now, it's a narrow higher range, and we have broken our this box here is our initial balance range. For those of you who have Edgeful, you can actually download their tools and you can actually add them in. So I have the initial balance range indicator here as well as the gap fill indicator. So basically you can see here we filled our gap down to PDC and then bounced off of it, right? And then so this is our IB stat. So this is what we would call a bullish IB because we broke the top of it. So which is why it coded green, not red. So for me, there is a slight statistical issue with the short here because it's a narrow range. It's more likely that it will run out the top side ATR. However, that being said, if we do go short here, because there is on Google runs a slightly higher variance on double breaks, I think, than most. I think it actually does it a little more often. If Google breaks here, right, the expectation would be a move all the way back to S4 and going outside of the bottom end. So if Google does go short, I would think we could possibly get to 179.50-ish by the end of the day. So with that in mind, let's see if we happen to have a large order at 179.50-ish. Or anything in there that makes us think there's a reason why we could go down there. Or good order structure. I mean, I think there's pretty decent ladder, but it's still stronger to the top side. So this book is coming off a little bullish right now for me. So which is likely why we haven't started selling yet. Even though we're getting some selling, we don't have enough orders to the downside to really spark it, right? So we got to give us a little bit of time here to really see these guys shaking in and see them getting into it. Meta book map coming at you. What? I keep double clicking on my Mac by accident. Oh well, we'll leave it alone for now. All right. Meta's in a pretty dicey place to try and trade it right now. It's basically at value. So it'd be a very difficult trade. That being said, its order book is incredibly bullish right now. And it has an excess of buying. So, I mean, Meta looks like it wants to go up. So kind of, I would say keep that in mind. Now, that being said, the NQ still looks like we're tiering orders and we're having trouble. We're absorbing before we can get to big blocks. I still think NQ can sell. If NQ sells, Meta has an insanely empty book to the downside. One really big hard sell and Meta will drop dollars very, very quickly. But right now, I would say Meta looks like it wants 120, and it will likely try and take 720 and then 721. Looks to be what the objective is. But if someone comes in and really blasts Meta with a lot of sell volume, this thing could really hit the downside really, really fast, because your next real good pocket of density is at like 716. So if someone hits this and hits this hard right now, like tried to manipulate this a little bit, we could definitely get this to flush off a titch. So, all right, everybody, it is noon and I've been in a murder chair for an hour. So I'm done. I hope all of you had a great time hanging out with me today. I always have a great time hanging out with you. Remember, schedule-wise, keep your brains out there. We got good stuff coming up this week. Dr. V on Wednesday. Hope you all have a great one. Much love. Keep it green. I'll talk to you later.